I was so organized, and then passwords happened. Hello, me. I was so organized. I got my notebook ready. I got my little laptops and everything. I'm thinking like 2:30, it's gonna happen. What happens? No. I've had to change every single freaking password that I've got because of this LastPass breach. And as a result, I've got different like password managers on different computers, and oh, what a freaking nightmare. Anyways, let's make the magic box work, old man. That's me. What have I got for you today? Have I got anything for you today? I've got some exciting things today, actually. I was kind of excited just to do like a news day. I want to just do like a news day where I get to like talk about cool tech stuff that's happening in the world that has caught my eye. And of course, everything that catches my eye right now is like AI. A jolly nice cup of tea. I've got this weird thing. I get vertigo, like this very slight vertigo that makes video games, basically impossible, and movies where they shake the camera too much. Last of Us, getting pretty close to too shaky for me. And I'm talking about the TV series. So for some reason, I got back from the dog walk today, and I was flying. Like, I felt like I was just like, I could not get my balance. It's very weird. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. Probably got water in my ear or something. I showered too intensely today. I had too intense a shower, perhaps. Anyway, so hopefully I'll make some kind of say, wow, a Wraithling raid. I like that. And when Erratus Wraith has their own channel, god damn, these invaders are everywhere. I'm not sure I want to be invaded by Wraith, do I? Thank you very much, Erratus Wraith Raid. Erratus Wraith Raid. Try saying that 10 times fast. Still with the passwords. I don't know if I've been hit or not. I don't know. I'm sure I will. I've been online since basically you could be online, and I've obviously, I'm pretty meticulous now about passwords, but I feel like it's not even about that now. It's not even about me being obsessive about the passwords. It's about who's got my information online now. I mean, like, I've trusted these companies all these years, and now all of a sudden they're getting breached left, right, and center, and it's like, sorry. It's like, what do you mean sorry? I've been paying for your password service for how long? And now you're like, oh yeah, by the way, they got the entire backup. So you should, change all 981 passwords. 981 passwords I haven't changed all of them, to be fair, but I've changed all the important ones. Like my tea suppliers. Actually, I don't have a tea supplier. I should get a tea supplier. All right, let me throw some stuff at you here. There's just some really neat things that have come up recently. I should probably regale you with tales of TechBandits gone bad, shouldn't I? Because we did our first community TechBandits. Holy cow, woo! That was terrifying. Let me tell you a little story about being terrified. Vipup.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Vipup. I just thought you might want to hear the story of my TechBandits gone wrong.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, I did that community center live TechBandits the other day.
Yeah.
All I can say is if there was a God, I would thank that God for my son Ham, his friend Yam, and Bag of Chips, because they freaking saved me. I'll paint you the picture. Imagine this, if you will, Vipup. It's Friday night. Where do you want to be? That's actually a question for you, Vipup. On a Friday night, where would you like to be? You've come back from school. You're
Can you
like,
not hear me anymore?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now. I didn't hear you before. Did you answer before?
Oh, yeah, I just said home.
Home. So you want to be home, probably doing what? Playing video games, right?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Really? What are you, like 1,000 years old? Jesus, you got plenty of time to sleep. Sleep when you're dead. Okay, so that's all. To be fair, I wake up and dream about sleeping. That's what I do. I go to sleep and dream about sleeping while I'm dreaming while I'm asleep. Anyways, point being is the last place you want to be is stuck in a room with some old guy telling you about 3D printing, right? Well, you might not. You might actually find that interesting. But some guy you've never met, you're forced to be there in order to get hours, volunteer hours of school. So I start nattering on about, oh, 3D printing is so cool. It's amazing. You can make things, and there's magic machines, and isn't technology wonderful? And I'm looking out, and I'm not getting anything. Like I'm literally getting like eye rolls, that kind of like, what? Who are you, old man? You know what I mean? Do something with your hair. Like it was like there were faces lit by cell phones. Nobody gave a flying frittata about what I was talking about. So I babbled on for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, this is an absolute and utter failure. Like I'm feeling like a complete freaking loser. And we didn't have computers. So I'm telling them about like Tinkercad, and I'm telling them about like all the things we can do with this. Like we've got a pancake bot. We have a pancake printer. We can't get any files on it, but we haven't actually built it yet. I'm jumping the story a bit. But anyways, point being is I can't do any of the stuff I want to do. Luckily, I don't know why I thought of this, but I thought maybe if there were too many kids and they were all crowded around the pancake printer or the 3D printer or asking me millions of questions that, they'd be so excited. Maybe it would make sense to have a few extra squeezy bottles that they could just sort of do their own pancakes on a griddle, right?
Yeah.
So the idea behind the pancake bot is basically you're squeezing pancake batter out. In the case of the pancake bot, it's pumping pancake batter out onto a griddle in the shapes you want, and you lay down your first layer and it gets grilled to a certain like color, and then you put down your next layer and it gets grilled to a different color, and that kind of stuff, right? So, and it like that's a process that was pretty easy to explain by having the kids do it on a griddle with it. Anyways, they freaking loved that. All of a sudden, I got 25 kids holding squeezy bottles and making pancakes. You know what the first pancake was?
Anime. Or Among Us.
So you think the first pancake that gets made would be anime or Among Us? Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would have gone to. I would have gone like, oh, it's like some game related thing or that. No, you know what it was?
It was a penis, I feel like.
It was a giant penis. They did a giant penis with blue balls. That's what they did. That was their first. They took blue food coloring just so they could give the penis blue balls. That's what the first print was. And I'm like, okay. I don't care. Hey, you know what? Guys that got junk. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, sure, whatever. Anyways, but I actually thanked the young woman who drew that originally, because it broke the ice for everybody, right? All of a sudden they go like, oh, this old guy's all right. He doesn't care. And so they started just doing their own thing, like designing their own thing. And next thing you know, there was like there's one kid when I came in who was terrifying. Like she was like the Cal of community centers. Like it was like no messing around. She was like laying down the hammer. She was like, the community leader guy was trying to talk, and she's like, yeah, shut up. She didn't say shut up, but she was like basically saying like, leave us alone. I want to use my phone, whatever. And I thought she is not making pancakes is what I'm thinking. No way. There's no way. There's no Dead Poet Society, teacher crap happening there. Well, guess what? Her and her friends show up and recreate the entire McDonald's menu in pancakes. They did milkshakes. They did French fries with little packaging. They even did ketchup packages with little logos on the ketchup package. It was insane. Like it was the best. Like it was just amazing. So basically, luckily my TechBandits were there. They fired up the griddle. They got people making designs. And then after they started doing designs, then they wanted to know about the 3D prints. So I started showing them some of the things we'd printed in the past, and specifically Wexter's little God of War. Oh, so cool. Do I have it here? Yeah, probably do. Unless I might have given it away. Oh, no, I didn't. So I did a little print. He's got these little fun little guys that he does. It's hard to see this because it's so white. I used a white filament. But that's a little God of War. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a scar on his forehead. I'm going to look into some paints because I want to paint this. But anyway, so they're like, oh, wait a second, can they do Pokemon? Can they do it? So we started talking about this stuff. So the pancakes were a great introduction to 3D printing. I didn't know this. Most of those kids, 99% of those kids, never done 3D printing in their life. Isn't that weird? Like, your dad has 3D printers, right, Papa?
Yeah, he has two. Oh, I have fun news. After the story, I have some fun news for you.
All right, well, I'm at a good ad break, so go ahead. Go ahead. What do you got? I'm going to sip some tea while you tell me your story.
I am getting a gaming room.
Shut the front door. So your own gaming room?
Yeah.
Are you gonna kit it up with like lights and deck it out like a streamer thing, or what? Like, what are you doing?
I think so.
That's
From what I know is we're gonna paint the room and then we're gonna put my computer in there and then possibly, hopefully, for like Christmas or my birthday, we're gonna get the Quest 2.
Oh, you're gonna go. What is it? It's expensive. Isn't it like $1,200 or something? It's quite steep, isn't it?
Let me
That's the new Meta.
check.
That's the new Meta Oculus
No,
thing.
it's old. One second. I gotta switch it up. Oculus Quest 2. The second one is
Oh, the second one is the one we've got, I think.
yeah, the white one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not bad. It's not. I mean, it makes me sick, but it makes other people sick. But it's a go-to at this house. We had kids over kids. We had teenagers taller than me over this weekend. Not this weekend? Yeah, this weekend. Because Baz is in exam week and he's finished all of his exams. So, so we had friends over and they were playing that. Yeah, that's a nice little system. And it's not too expensive. It's like, what, like $500-$600, something like that?
Yeah, it is $600. I just searched it up.
Why am I
Yeah,
not
I
seeing
don't.
the chat? Okay.
Yeah, if I get it, I'm definitely not getting that for my birthday. If it is $600, that is really expensive.
Well, you know what I did with Baz? Baz, like, sort of as a surprise for Baz, because I said however well he did on his exams, I would give him that much money towards. He's thinking about getting a PlayStation 5, which I think is a waste of money, but, he's thinking about it.
Holy, they're awesome.
Come on, Gippy
I'm
G,
sorry.
you're supposed to support me. I should have known.
Well,
A sneak attack by
The
Gippy G.
PlayStation 5, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, but what's it? But then what? I said, okay, fine. So give me your desktop computer. And he's like, well, no, I'll use both. I was like, not at the same time. You won't. Do you use your PlayStation 5 a lot, Gippy G?
Oh, yeah.
What
But I
games
don't
are you
have a
playing?
computer. Okay, God of War Ragnarok is awesome. We just completed that.
Yeah.
And now we're playing Horizon Forbidden West, where
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
future America is so cool.
Yeah. Is future America somewhat like current America? What is their future America consist of?
There was some kind of terraforming attempt because the Earth collapsed,
As it does.
and they wanted to terraform while
Let's say the Earth
humans
collapsed like
were
in a
on Earth.
physical way. Like there's a physical hole in the Earth, or there's the
Well, no, it just
society collapsed.
the ecosystem collapsed.
Okay, sort of like it's doing right now.
So they put a bunch of synthetic robots, like a kind of bioorganic robots,
Right.
all across the Earth to rebuild things and
I like the way this is going.
Yeah. It's really cool, and they're replanting stuff. But we also sent a group of humans out to a planet, just in case. Not all of our chickens in one basket kind of thing.
Right.
Well, for some reason, that particular endeavor sent back a kill command to Earth.
What?
Yeah, so that all the creatures go crazy. And so that's what we're doing,
Is
trying
that
to
these
find our way.
mechanical? Are these the mechanical type creatures? They're like mechanical
Yes.
dinosaurs and stuff. Like I think we played this for a little bit. It's gorgeous. Like it's an absolutely gorgeous game.
It's awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Baz
It's
says
wonderful.
that the images are beautiful on the PlayStation 5. Absolutely beautiful.
It is.
What about
Wonderful.
they have a VR as well?
PlayStation is, but I mean, so that I probably wouldn't worry with because you got a $500 PlayStation, then you got to set down another $500 for PlayStation VR 2.
Oh, is that what?
And
okay.
it's not, yeah.
Yeah, it seems
And
like you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Someone was saying, who was it who just said this? Someone was just saying you just need a PC and a Nintendo Switch. Is that the Pyros? Was that who said that? See if I can find it. The Orion
Well,
pilot.
I mean,
Yeah, was saying that that's all you need.
is that guy a nerd?
Well, it
Because if
depends.
you
I
want to
guess
be
that's
cool,
it,
you
right?
got to have a PlayStation.
Well, that's my problem. Is I want everything. Like, do you have a PlayStation 5?
Right.
5 Pup?
My dad is.
Yeah, he does. Your dad has. I'm getting the sense
Yeah.
is your dad a nerd like us?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you remember I sent you the thing of... One second, I'll quickly try to find it. I sent you a image of the 3D printing that he did. I just sent you a music
Oh,
video
yeah.
instead of the picture.
All right. You just sent me what?
I just sent you a music video instead of the picture of
Oh,
it.
great. Am I being rickrolled again? Last time
No.
I got a video from Bipop, it was like a rickroll. Oh,
That was Jeffers.
we gotta figure out how
Mike,
to do.
I have that too.
What do you got?
ColecoVision. It
Oh,
was
the ColecoVision. I remember the
storage.
ColecoVision.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How did that survive the fire? Because that was
Storage.
all plastic. Well, it was and wood grain plastic, wasn't it? Wasn't it that the wood grain? The Coleco was the wood grain one.
No, that was the Atari.
Oh, that was the Activision one.
That had that faux wood grain.
Yeah. They loved that faux wood. You know, our first VHS had faux wood grain.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's
just
up
a
with
big
that?
sticker.
They wanted it to look like furniture.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like they put a big sticker on the front so that I was like, they didn't want to see the metal? Like, what? I don't, like, you know, it's like, no, that's not a VHS. That's just another piece of wood. I don't know what the point was.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love those old things. Okay. All right, Vipup. So I don't know if did you hear this or not, Gibby G? So Vipup is getting his own gaming room. Like, he's getting a section of the house.
That is awesome.
Do you like have a bigger house or something out there? Is that the deal?
No, my sister's moving out.
You kicked your sister out? You're kicking your sister out and stealing her room? You know that's what my little sister did. She'll never forgive you.
No, she's moving out on her own. So I have just kind of said, my room now.
Yeah, that's exactly what my little sister did, except I didn't move out. I just went away to make a movie. I came back, and then there was no room left. I was kicked out anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it was just kind of funny how fast. I was like, the room's not even cold. My sister had already moved in.
Wait, didn't she sing a song to you when you got kicked out?
The beauty school dropout.
I seen your... Yeah.
Beauty school
dropout. Yeah.
Go back to high school. Yeah, Kate's too clever for her own good, that woman. Okay, so we got to do you have to do build videos for us, Vipup, like before and after shots. Are you watching all those YouTube videos about like how to set up your room and stuff like that?
No. All we're really gonna do is we're just gonna set up the computer in the room and like maybe have LED lights.
Tell you, dude, once you set it up, nothing changes. That's why you want to get the decorations in there first. You should look at Baz has a cool setup. Baz took a kitchen countertop from IKEA and used it as the top of his desk.
Yeah, that's what we did. We have the kitchen countertop and we have the
like there are these bedside table type things. Yeah, that's what he's got. I love it. It's a great setup. I'll tell you, I like having a stand-up desk, so that's why I prefer mine. Although stand-up desks, like watch, I'm gonna wiggle it. You can see the camera moving. They're just not as secure, I find, as the other ones. Wormhole 42 is gonna put a picture of this. Oh, we should start. Okay, you know what? Someone should go onto Discord and set up a like a nerd cave section on Discord. I could do that. What am I doing? I can just do that right myself. So we can all post pictures. Somebody who knows how to. It's me. I think I'm talking to me. All right. I'm going into the community. I'm going to the community section. Is it the community section? Is that what I want? I guess it is. I'm adding one now. Here we go. Creating a channel. The channel is going to be called. What are we calling it? Fan Cave? Fan Cave. That's it. Fan Caves. Creating the channel. There you go. There is a Fan Cave section where you can post ideas and show off your setups and stuff. That's awesome, Vipup. That's so much fun. I gotta say, you gotta put posters up and stuff, or is it just LEDs?
LEDs maybe a poster.
Yeah. What poster? What do you like, a gaming poster or?
I've actually found a completely new music taste, so I might, and I know my sister has one of the posters, so I might try to take it from her also.
What's the new music taste? I'm intrigued.
I actually figured out that I really like Nirvana and stuff.
Good man. Good man.
Wow.
That is some cool 90s music, my friend. Smashing Pumpkins, you got into them yet?
No, one second. I actually
Check
have.
out some Smashing Pumpkins as well, because that's the same
Oh,
kind of
yeah, I do.
Nirvana like sound. Yeah.
I do. I have Bullet with Butterfly Wings
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah, very good, very good. But Nirvana was amazing. Oh my god, I love that band. And then also, I really like what was his Grohl went on to do as well. He's got his Foo Fighter stuff is really good as well. Oh my god, there's people already posting. People are already posting their site. That's fantastic. Look at that.
Wow.
Rev Helix has already got. They've got their PS1. Ooh. All
Wow.
sorts of stuff.
Why does it say test on the side? What does that mean?
Is it a test unit?
It's
a
Mark
PlayStation test unit?
Lapointe
Wow.
is he just said in chat, Mark Lapointe is Rev Helix, so we can ask him.
Oh, okay.
It's a test unit. That's really cool.
Wow. There's like some weird Nintendo stuff there too. And some nice servers too. Look at that. Wow. That looks like fun. It is a test unit. There you go. Mark Lapointe is Rev Helix. This is the problem with having all these usernames. I can't keep track. Explain it to me, the old man. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff that came up. Did you see any of the news stuff? Gimpy G?
Rosie.
You don't have to
Excuse
have seen
me.
it because I'm going to tell you right now anyways.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I should just finish up about the community center though. Let me just quickly finish up about that. So
That was awesome.
it was kind of awesome, I got to say, because I was like, I had that skin crawling fear when I realized that nobody gave a shiitake about what I was saying. And so when I actually got to I sort of started to I started to panic, and then a couple of kids asked about the Pancake Bot, and I said, well, I don't know anything about the Pancake Bot because I haven't set it up yet, so feel free to jump in there. So the kids leapt in and built the Pancake Bot. So that was one bunch, and then while that bunch was doing that, I thought, well, what else could the other kids do? And so my TechBandits set up the griddles and started doing the pancakes, and it was amazing. Like, it was just, they were having so much freaking fun. And the guy who runs the place came up to me and said, like, this is amazing. Can you come back every month? And I was like, okay. so I,
Maybe.
because I felt like I'd failed. Absolutely. It felt like a complete and utter failure. But the reality is, it doesn't really matter what I feel because the kids were having fun. So, yeah. And they
Wait. You felt like a failure?
Oh God, yeah. Well, because I was there to. The whole point was I was there to like introduce them to 3D printing and get them into 3D printing and stuff. The pancakes was like an aside, was a way I was going to sort of. I mean, it kind of worked in a way because the pancake stuff did get them interested in the 3D printing because they realized that they could.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with plastic as they did,
You'd have to like drug them or something if you wanted to like take to something in one session.
Yeah,
It's definitely a sneak up on them and teach them something.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even know that I just sort of pointed them at some stuff. So it was interesting. It was definitely, I feel sorry for teachers because I can't imagine staring at those blank faces every day.
I should have told
something
you.
Important.
I knew you were going, and they were kind of the tough kids. So I should have told you what you do. You walk in, you pick the biggest girl in the place, and you punch her in the mouth. And then
I would be killed. They would kill me. She wouldn't even feel it.
She would have killed you. Yeah.
It was. I'll tell you, it's
but
quite a mix.
That would have made you one of them.
It was quite a mix, though, too, right? Because it was kids who were there was like a definite nerd contingent. They were fine. They were my people. I could I could speak to them. Or I could listen to them because they wanted to tell me how everything worked. So that's great. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And then there was definitely like a cool crowd that was just on their phones and talking and pretending not to look interested. Not even pretending; they just weren't interested. And then there was a bunch of kids who were definitely on the spectrum, like way on the spectrum. Like, I mean, you know, there was some approaching Rain Man people there. Like
Thank you.
so that was fascinating too. But I just loved the way they all kind of worked together. Like even the cool kids got in there and they were patient with Rain Man and stuff. They were, you know, I was just really impressed. And then I was surprised at how many people came up and said thank you. I was surprised at how many people kept coming up and saying like, what's next? So I got to tell them about laser spiders, and they're all like, ah, you know. So the best part, I think, well, not the best part. The best part was definitely them coming up after. But there were these two policemen who come. I guess there's the Toronto Police Department has this sort of, I guess, this community liaison thing where they send their officers into the community center so they get to know the kids. So if there's ever any problems, they might know the kids, or the kids might know them, might help sort of diffuse some situations, get a little sort of empathy and stuff in there. And so there's these two giant policemen with body cams and guns and all this stuff, like wandering around the room, right? So I'm thinking like, is this normal or is someone getting arrested?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they walk around for a while. They say hi to people and stuff. They came up and said hi, what's going on and stuff. And then they at the end, the guy comes up and goes, when's next week? When's the next one? And I said, oh, it's this date. And he goes, oh, I'm not working that date, but can I come in anyways? Do you mind can I bring my kid and come in? I was like, well, yeah, of course. And what am I going to do? Say no to the cop? You got a gun, for God's sake. But I did. The other thing I got him to do, and I hope he doesn't get in trouble for this, but he has two phones. The police have two phones, one of their own, one that's their, like the police's. They have an app.
Gotcha.
They've got an app on their phone that they can use to look people up. So they've just got like they can literally,
sweet.
Yeah. So they just pull up their phone and go like put in a driver's like a license plate or something, and they pull up all the information. So I was like, well, am I in there? They said, well, have you talked to the police? I said, well, I'm sure. Yes, in the past, in my lifetime in Toronto, yes, I'm sure I've spoken to the police on a few occasions. And I said, can you look me up? And so he looked me up. And sure enough, there's like stuff going back years, like way back, like nothing bad, just all sort of like, like,
oh yeah, nothing bad.
No, well, I mean, if it was anything bad, I'd be in jail right now, right? But and I also knew there was nothing bad because I've had a background check for the school stuff anyways, so that they don't like you.
Oh yeah.
School kid stuff without having a background check anyway. So.
What is the draw for the children? Why are they there?
They get volunteer hours. So they get volunteer hours at school, which is mandated. They have to have a certain number of volunteer hours to get their high school diploma. So that's how they lure them in, right? So they have to spend a minimum of like 2 hours or something there in order to get their community points for that week. But what was nice was like we were over 3 hours and there were still kids there. Kids were coming and going. I guess they're going off for a smoke or something. I don't know what they were doing.
Probably, yeah. And
coming back, and then they go down and they play basketball or whatever. Like, so it was just a really. It's also the feeling of the place was great. Like I was like, I want this. Like I want. This is exactly what I mean. In my own stupid head, I have to reinvent everything myself. But I kind of want my own community center. Like it was just so. Like there was a pool they could go to. There was a gym they could go to. Although why anyone would want to go there, I don't know. But so there were like old people playing ping pong in one room. They had there was a lounge area for the cool kids that had graffiti on it and stuff. And then we had this room upstairs looking over the pool. I never once looked out that window. I was so terrified the entire time talking to kids and trying to keep things going. My mom said, "Oh, what's the pool like there?" I was like, "I have no idea." She goes, "But weren't you in the room above that?" I was like, "Yeah, I never looked out. Never looked that way once." So,
are you because you didn't want to turn your back, or because you're afraid of heights? Which where are we at?
Combination of both. No. I just.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things where it was just so. I was so weirdly focused in my panic that I just didn't get a chance to look around really. I talked to a lot of kids though, which was great.
It's so weird. You saw that letter I wrote to you, right? That
Yeah,
little
yeah,
thing
it's
where
fantastic. Yeah,
I just felt like you were going to be nervous. I was like, I don't know
it's
why
something.
I feel like you're nervous, but
I wasn't that nervous at first, and then I I guess the weird thing is it's so easy for me to fall back on the Stargate stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy for me to fall
and you
back and just
have
be like
that.
celebrity, right?
Yeah,
Like you just go to celebrity. But oh,
yeah.
thank you, Phantom Noir, um, and welcome. Uh, but for some reason, not for some reason, these kids are too young. They don't know who the hell I am.
Oh yeah,
Even the guy
yeah.
running the place is too young to know. He doesn't even know what Stargate is. So it was kind of neat.
Oh
I had
my
to sort of like
God.
exist on my own merit, which is new for me as well. So hey, is that
So you were a random guy.
we got Malventano in here? Where did Malventano sneak in here?
I'm sneaky like that.
Wait a second. Did you sneak in because we were talking about nerd caves?
No, I snuck in because I realized that you were using a bad password manager.
Whoa, what am I using?
Well, no, what you were using was a bad password
Oh God, it
manager,
was awful.
obviously.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
terrible. It was LastPass.
But I
LastPass.
wanted to
Yeah.
but I wanted to offer not that I was using LastPass, I was using something different, but that did prompt me
Hmm.
to fire up my own backend for Bitwarden on my server.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm using Bitwarden now. That's what I'm using.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody over here and any of the TechBandits would like to have the use of a free Bitwarden server, so they get all the benefits of as if they paid, but the advantage is if you know somebody that runs their own server, then you could just use that one and you get the full benefits as if.
But
you
how does
were,
that work? So
like-
there's no, I mean, like, but storing it on your server, is that, I mean, no offense, but is that going to be more secure than server?
It's all encrypted. Doesn't matter where it is, even if I can't even tell you what the passwords are.
Huh. Oh,
Because
wow.
it's
So it's
all
just stored.
it's all protected. Yeah, it's just all it is just a place to store the stuff, the data, right?
Right.
But the data is all encrypted with your master password.
I've got to
So-
say, I quite like Bitwarden. It's not as
Yeah, it's
user friendly as LastPass, but it's
True.
pretty freaking close. And I love that they've got one of the features that I love on this thing is that it'll automatically generate that code for you instead of having to go to another app and look for that. It's kind of neat.
Well, okay.
Although I know there's a
safety
point
thing.
I know, but it's just again, like I feel like if someone's gonna get that good, if someone's that good at stealing stuff,
I will say this: if you're gonna do that, here's a recommendation. You should enable two-factor for Bitwarden itself.
right? Oh yeah,
and-
yeah. No, I've done that.
And
yeah.
but that two-factor, that rotating code should be somewhere else,
Oh god, yeah,
like
yeah.
Authy or
Well, you know
something,
what?
some other app.
I'm actually
right?
using LastPass for that, which I know I probably shouldn't.
Oh
But
Jesus!
but it's a LastPass authenticator.
Good Lord, man!
But it's the LastPass
Oh.
authenticator. I figure that's at least that's something, right? But it's
But if
generating.
that gets compromised, then somebody has your second factor
Well, there's
to
yes,
get all of
yeah.
your passwords.
But
to get to your whole Bitwarden.
But let's face it, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's all insecure. Like the reality is like this is definitely more secure than others, but the most secure way of stuff is just to store your own thing on paper somewhere in a locker that you lock every, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like
Yes.
just by nature of putting it out in any cloud, you're making it insecure, right?
Well, see, that's the thing that LastPass was doing poorly, but that Bitwarden is doing properly.
Right.
And that is, if the thing you're storing is just a bunch of noise, right? Like it's encrypted. Like if it's encrypted well,
Right.
then it doesn't matter. Like you could literally put it on a public web page for all that matters. Like because nobody can do anything with it
Right.
unless they know your master password.
Right.
Right. That's the key.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just it's one of those things where I like it's like I feel like you've got to look for
Right.
there's like that convenience versus like one of the things we struggle with in our family is people get frustrated with all these password changes, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it's a pain in the ass, but the only way to be secure is if you do that. So,
Well, wait a minute. Are you using that other feature that Bitwarden offers?
which is what?
You can have if multiple people have their own logins and their own sets of passwords, you can create a group and add people to the group, and then add passwords to that group.
Yeah, I've got like a family version of that. Basically, it's like it's an enterprise, but it's enterprise for cheap because it just has the family involved. So, anyways, look, I should do some news because I don't want to. I have a feeling that VibePup is probably not worried too much about their security. Their security.
You never know. You never know.
They will be if they get hacked. VibePup, what do you do for passwords? Did we put
exactly what I say, but I basically just do the same password, just with a little like spice up.
Oh boy.
Oh, see, that's risky.
VibePup.
It's pretty risky because if someone figures out the way you do that on one, they can figure it out on all of them, right? Like, let's say, let me give you an example of one that I used to use. So I used to say, okay, I'm going to put the name of the company, but I'll use zeros instead of O's. And then I'll put like Hewlett at the end of it with an exclamation mark or something. And that seems really good, except that if you do the same thing on every account and one of those accounts gets hacked, because my concern is not even me getting hacked. My concern is now the companies that I use getting hacked because they seem to suck at this. You know what I mean? Like my issue with LastPass was not that they got hacked. I don't think that's particularly their fault. What really is the issue for me with LastPass was that they've been completely silent about what's been stolen, how we should remedy this. Like if they jumped in and gone like, oh my God, let's force everyone to change their passwords and do this and do that. Like literally, if they jumped in on it and said we need to do this, I would be great. I'll stay with LastPass. But they didn't. They freaking ignored it for 3 months. Like, and still haven't told us what exactly has been stolen. It's absolutely criminal. Like people should go to jail for that.
That's the key difference between what LastPass was doing and how, the other better ones are doing it, right? Like
Bitwarden's open source,
you could take
right.
Somebody could walk in and steal their entire server, and they still don't have anything,
right?
You could it doesn't matter because
it's true. Someone could just walk back into your garage and just steal all your hard drives,
right? And like if they did, it wouldn't matter. Like who cares?
As long as they take my dog as well, they're fine. Then I would.
Come on,
I'm willing
that dog is cute.
Willing to lose that dog. God, I love her, but my God, walking her today, I swear to God, I thought she was gonna have to drag me home. I got all.
Listen, this is. Well, I mean, that's not the dog's fault.
Yeah, no, I blame the dog. She wanted to walk too long.
The dog is the reason that David doesn't have very far to go to get in shape. So
yes, exactly.
As the doctor says.
Yeah.
Right?
My favorite doctor line. You wouldn't have to do much to get into shape. I'm like, thanks, buddy. All right. So a few fun things, AI things. Let me see.
Yay.
My little campaigny things. Yeah, when I went looking for news, I didn't go looking for news, but I went looking through all the things that I've clipped recently about news, and I kept coming back to this AI stuff. You're playing with this AI stuff, aren't you, Valentana?
I have half considered downloading the Stable Diffusion database, but it's like it would take a large chunk of my server.
Yeah, but it still wouldn't take all of it.
No, it wouldn't take all of it, but I'm one of the few people that can say that.
Right, because it is huge.
It's like 250 terabytes or something. It's ridiculously large.
It's just what you could do with it is just extraordinary. I mean, so one of the things I wanted to talk about today was I thought using this AI, I mean specifically GPT chat, but there's obviously going to be others. There are others, using AI in school, and the teachers that I've spoken to, or the professors I've spoken to, are like, I mean, the cool ones are like, okay, how do we reimagine school then? Because that's what we have to do. The not cool ones are like, yeah, we just block it. We block it at our school. I was like, well, that does nothing. Like, okay, so they use
nothing.
They use their freaking iPhones. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like literally the school policy. I don't know what our school policy is, but there are school policies that are just to basically ban the URL. So I started looking for teachers who had a clue. The other one that I love, this is the other one the Luddites come up with, the teachers come up with. They say, okay, yeah, well then you can't hand in your writing as digital. It has to be written. It has to be handwritten. I was like, what?
Boy.
Are you kidding me?
Nah.
Like
Have
with
they
a
ever heard of the analog hole?
well, it's like I mean, like with a quill, like you've got to use ink from a jar. And the next thing I said was like, I said, yeah, smart kid's just going to go and add, like, put a pen in a 3D printer and get it to write its essay for him.
Well, I mean, you can't just like read the screen and then write it down. Like, really?
Well, no, it doesn't stop that anyways. No, exactly. I mean, this is the kind of stupidity that you're dealing with that I worry about. But there was some fun ones that came up. One of them was saying like, what's the difference between this and like Grammarly? Because the reality is Grammarly is on every kid's phone and document, and is making suggestions and is helping them. Like, okay, it's not coming up with ideas for them, but it's doing their grammar for them, which I think is great because I think grammar's freaking stupid. Like I like all those stupid rules you have to memorize, and I never and no one speaks like that half the time anyway. So I think it's the more it corrects it for them, the more it's going to lock into them that sounds right. Why does it sound right? I don't know, because I've just seen that be the correct way of doing things for however long. It's that's too
now. Won't Chat GPT give incorrect information as though it's 100% for real?
Yeah, it will vehemently make shit up. Excuse me.
And it doesn't source it. It doesn't source it. That's the other issue.
You can ask it for sources. You can ask it for stuff. And I think that's one of the great things I think that came up in the reading that I was doing about this was like they're saying like it's a great tool for brainstorming. Like, by all means, get the ball rolling by asking AI about the subject that you're dealing with. It's the same thing as Googling. It's just a lot more effective. Right. And you can, instead of having to click a bunch of times, you're getting but know that you have to follow up on those claims being made by the thing, because it literally made up films that I wasn't in.
So not only have I been thinking about this recently, but Amy and I actually had a discussion about this last night.
Right? Did you have an argument?
And that was
an argument?
No. Of course not. I kind of half jokingly said like, because she's working on a dissertation, right? And I was like, one day you're going to be able to say that you did your dissertation all on your own, right? Because sometime in the future, you're just going to be able to, hey, I want a full-blown, well-researched thing, paper on this particular obscure topic, and you're just going to be able to punch it in somewhere. And in theory, this AI stuff will improve to the point where you actually get like a legitimately well-researched result.
Oh yeah, I mean,
right?
I think
not just like made up, but
it could be a year from now. It could be 10 years from now. Who knows? But I think it's closer to the year than to 10 because it seems to be improving so quickly. But
I mean, it's literally like, I mean, I think it's good, but it is going to throw some wrenches in some stuff in society, right? Like academia, like doing a PhD. Like,
I love the idea that you type something into GPT as a PhD student and it spits something out. Then it's already been done. So now you have to find your own voice in there. You have to find your own roots to information. And I think one of the benefits of someone in a PhD situation is they want to be there, don't they? I mean, they're there to learn, not just to get a mark and get a PhD. Isn't that? Am I being naive at that? I mean.
No, I mean, yeah. To some extent, you're trying to do something that contributes back to the education, overall, right? Like, so
if I have a tool that spits out what's already out there, that's fantastic. It just saves me all the trouble of going down like a dead end that someone's already done a paper on.
Right, and that's the thing that happens too, right? Like you could work on a dissertation topic for like a few months, and then nope, that's a dead end. There's really nothing else there. Okay, let me pick something else.
My mom found it on a couple of her historical ones where she would start going down this rabbit hole and go, "Oh my God, this is amazing! There's all this information," and then someone would post someone would like post something at a one of these historical things, and she'd be like, "Oh crap, there's 10 years."
Well, see, that thing you were saying where it could be 1 year from now, it could be 10 years from now. Like where it actually starts to catch on reasonably. Like I had to go to the Library of Congress with Amy for her to physically walk in there and check out a book and you can't even leave the room with it.
Yeah.
And she had to she had to literally use her phone and take pictures of it was cool. I have a picture of her from like the balcony over the Library of Congress, like where she's sitting at one of the tables, like reading one of these, very obscure old, books, right? But like, so the challenge is all that stuff needs to be digitized in order for all these AI things to
what's
actually
it
have
doing?
reach, right?
Yeah. I mean, it should be available to
like
everyone.
Amy. Yeah, I mean, like Amy spent months to even get to the point where she even knew what books she needed to see,
Well, that's it.
right?
It's about asking the
that were
question.
not digital.
Well, that's a
So
big
like,
GPT thing. Is it comes down to it's like it's all very good and well. It's
Right.
not like it's only following your thought pattern. Like if you have to come up with the
Right.
prompt. If the teachers ask questions like what are the themes of this, this, and this in Julius Shakespeare, then that's been done a million freaking times, and it's going to spit out a pretty good version of that. But
Well,
if you say
think of it-
what are apply the themes of Julius Caesar to your own life, that's something AI is not going to be able to do for you, and it's still going to allow people to figure out, their own place in this stuff.
Ooh, that was
Well,
good, David. Very good, dude.
think about it this way. There's a different analogy that's much simpler that sort of extends to this, right? In education in general, there's some math classes where you're not allowed to use calculator, right? And then there's
Right.
some math classes where you are, right? But you still need to have the skills to type the stuff into the calculator to
Yes.
get the right answer.
I
right?
remember that. You
And
can
that's
have a calculator, but you still have to know how to use it.
yeah, you still got to know how to use the thing, right? And that's exactly analogous to what would eventually be an AI prompt,
Yeah, I agree.
right,
I
David?
agree.
Like
Yeah.
you learn how to use the tool, and then how effective are you at using the tool? That's how good of an answer you can get,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely perfect example. I think but I think what scares people and specifically scares teachers is, and this is something else that came up as thing is like, what do you do when you've standardized education? Because all of a sudden AI can answer all of that for you.
Some new thing comes along and throws a wrench in all the
And
works,
that's
right?
So it's like all of a sudden you've got standardized tests, you've got standardized questions, you've got standardized curriculum. All of a sudden, you've got kids who can just go, okay, answer the final exam curriculum question for English in relation to this book, and it just spits it out. This again, the smart teachers were saying, we've got to move. This should allow us to have more time to focus on kids.
Listen, this extends all the way back to even when I was in high school.
What?
Were there
high schools back then?
No. Well, oh hush. Listen, are there high schools back when you were?
I'm older than you, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm older than time itself.
So actually, you might remember this program, or we'll see. Maybe Gimpy will actually. So early days of computers, 286 computers, like MS-DOS days, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
There was
is
this
David's
program-
wheelhouse. Yeah.
There was this program called Derive back then, and it was a I don't remember which university came out with it, or if it was just some guy or something came out with it, but it was basically like super duper graphing calculator type program, but for a computer, right? And this was before graphing calculators were really even a thing, right? And it would just, if you needed to solve an equation for X, you could literally just punch the equation in. It was like the original Wolfram Alpha.
Right.
Right.
And you just print out your chart.
You would just punch in your thing, really complex equations or whatever, and you would just hit solve for X, and just poof, there it is, right? And man, that sure made some classes in high school easy for me, for as far as homework went, right? Because and at the time, nobody knew that was even a thing that could be done.
Dude, I got an essay sent back to me.
Right?
I got an essay sent back to me in English class because I had printed it out on my Commodore 64 dot matrix printer. And little do they know how long it took me to do that because the paper kept jamming. But
man.
I got it sent back and they said that's cheating. You can't have a computer do your essay for you.
You just
blew
my mind.
Wait, what?
You just blew my mind because I had the OkiMate 10 dot matrix printer on my Commodore 64. Probably the same printer you had.
I don't know if it was though. I thought mine was actually a Commodore 64 printer.
Oh yeah, they had their own brand.
I think it was their own brand. It was. Yeah, it was. Oh God, I love those things. I love taking those things apart because there's also it's that weird combination of mechanical and electronics. It was like really fun.
It was fun. Anyway, my point is there's always this thing. The only reason it's different today is because it's because of the internet and just how like global communication works. You know, it's much things word of mouth spreads way faster today than it did, you know, back then, right? So if this program existed, none of the teachers even knew it existed, and there was no way for them to even find out.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this is this is the witch hunt that starts with these technologies, where people sort of go like, "Oh my God, the internet's bad."
Yeah,
you know, this is
right.
GPT is bad, and I'm not saying it's not, and it can't. I mean, like I always say this. It's like all technology, all new technology is both an angel and a devil. Like there's always there's two sides to every new technology that comes out. But from a teacher standpoint, I think it is going to make them more difficult in some ways, but it's also going to make it easier for them in some ways. Like, for example, you know, there's this whole thing about trying to tailor education to students. Well, what are you going to do if you've got every student can pick their own book to do their book report on, which is one of the things that's part of the curriculum now at school.
Right.
That teacher's got to read 30 freaking books, potentially 30 books. No, screw
let
that.
the AI do it.
Let the AI do it.
Let the AI do
exactly. The AI can come up with some themes and stuff and point out some things. And, you know, and then you can have it clarify different sections and stuff. So you can have it help you with your homework.
But do you know where my brain immediately went to now that we've said that? You sit down.
That's where mine goes.
You sit down at the chess game on the computer.
Yeah.
And what do you tell the chess game on the computer to do? You make player 1 the computer, and you make player 2 the computer. So now the students are using AI to make their homework, and then the teachers are using AI to grade their homework.
Yeah.
So the AI is basically just doing both ends of the thing the whole time.
Well, and that's already happening, because the same guys who created the AI, the chat GPT, in order to try to combat that, came up with an AI that is supposed to identify AI.
Yep.
So,
and then who makes the better AI?
Exactly.
Now it's just,
I mean,
it's just a game now at this point.
But that's why I feel like we just have to figure out how to do the tools. I mean, the manuals that used to come with cars told you how to gap the freaking spark plugs.
Yep.
Now they tell you not to drink the battery acid. I mean, like it's like we don't have a there's not an understanding of the underlying technologies in these things now. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So we don't all have to be professionals we don't have to all understand every minutia of the vehicle we're using. I'm a nerd. I want to, but if you don't want to, it makes it a lot easier. Standardizing on a brake and an accelerator and
the thing that upsets me about that is that sometimes we get to the point where the information is not even available to those who want it.
Well, yes, then you get this sort of walled garden, the right to repair and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff, right? You know, you want to learn how something works. Well, where do you even find? Yeah, I mean, I mean, think about it. If somebody really wanted to know how an SSD worked all the way down to as low as you can go, you kind of sort of have to work at one of the companies.
Really? There's no way
because there's just some. You know, there's just some aspects of it that are just nobody's going to document that. Like heck, I work at one of the companies. Sometimes I have to go and seek out the person even to learn about how some piece of the thing works.
Is that done on purpose, do you think, or is that done just because it just gets
some of it's just that you're so far down the rabbit hole that just nobody else has bothered to ask.
Well, what's neat is so many things are standardized when it comes to these, like to computers anyways now, that once you figure out how to understand one chip, do you not then understand how to use other people's technologies as well because they're using the same chips and things? Or no, I guess with yours it's bleeding edge stuff, isn't
it? There's usually a limit to how far down the standardization can go, right? Once you get deep enough, something just has to work in its own unique way that doesn't have to be compatible with everything else.
Right. Okay. I see. So the black box only applies for so far. You know.
Yeah, once you get so far down, well, there is a black box, but it's going to be, you're eventually going to hit a black box is the point, right? Like eventually it's going to be like, well, I don't know how that thing works, right? And then, you know.
It's, again, I feel like I've dabbled with the AI stuff. I have a certain amount of understanding of it in a very tertiary, like a very sort of like surface level understanding of it, but I don't understand all of it by any means. It's like quantum mechanics. I feel like I sort of understand some of it. I understand what they're trying to explain, but I don't understand what they're explaining in most parts.
So. At least you can say that you have uttered out of your mouth over the course of your life more quantum mechanical terms than most people.
There you go. That's not that I've understood them or anything, but you know,
you just didn't understand any of them.
They were written in scripts. They were written in scripts.
Yeah, you said the words.
So there's a couple other things.
Did you see my? Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Did you
Yeah.
see my Twitter? My Twitter of your quantum face, David.
I didn't. I think I came in
Oh.
like halfway through that conversation. I didn't quite understand it. I thought it was a very handsome shot of me, though. That's all I cared about.
Oh, okay. Well, no, there was no. I had put an article up in a video
Yeah.
that the Google quantum computer created a wormhole, and they passed a particle through. Actually, a bunch of particles, but they couldn't tell. It took them a long time, like from 2014 till not very long ago, to figure out which ones got to the other side without passing through the intervening space, right?
So they're doing the quantum. They're doing the little quantum jump, whatever it's called. The what's it called?
I don't know. It's
Action
a
at
wormhole.
a distance or something.
So,
wormhole.
well, they call it holographic
was it
duality.
Simulation, or was it an actual physical? No, it couldn't have been a physical one, right? Making a traversable wormhole with a quantum computer. Is that what they were doing?
Well, yeah, they're saying something about quantum entanglement.
Okay.
But then they don't know if that's real anymore. It's really weird. But it was definitely, maybe it was quantum tunneling. I don't know.
I got to look at it.
But it definitely went from one place to another, and they don't think they're that far off on info. Yeah.
Well, so the biology book that I'm reading right now, called Life on the Edge, which I'm going to read for the rest of my life because I don't understand it and have to keep going back every 2 seconds. They talk about what was that, Vipup?
I was gonna say, can I quickly cut in here?
Yes, please cut in, Vipup.
I have very good science news.
Mm-hmm.
We had a test. We had to redo it. But before we had to redo it, I had the highest mark in the class on our science test.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How many people in your class? Like 2, 3? What
I'm pretty sure there was like 25.
Holy crap, that's great, buddy. What was it
Good
about?
job, dude.
What was it about?
Density, buoyancy, and like all of the above. I don't know all of them.
Is it the guy getting into the tub with the? Did you talk about
Archimedes principle.
Archimedes, that's it. Yeah. Wow. Oh, well done, buddy. That's gotta feel good.
Yeah.
Now you gotta convince your parents to do what I did, which is like, but Baz got a 90, so I was like, okay, I'll give you $90. And he got an 85. I was like, okay, I'll give you $85.
Hey, David, I bet you at least 1% of that grade was probably attributed to TechBandits.
You think?
I was 1%.
I don't know. Vipup was way ahead of me before we even started Tech.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Darn.
But although I guess I tend to empty bathtubs when I get in them, I suppose.
I was gonna say, but the fun news is I actually studied.
Oh, good. How do you study? Do you just look it over and over and over?
That's fantastic.
How do you do that?
I just kind of look it over, and actually I wasn't gonna study, but a friend just kind of like walked over and just started like quizzing me, so I.
That was one of the suggestions for ChatGPT, was to get it to quiz you on the subjects that you need, which I thought was kind of interesting. Where you just say like, ask me a bunch of questions about the what do you call it? The Archimedes principle? What was it called? What was the thing you were
That was it.
That was it? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
You can get it to ask you questions and come up with like equations to help. Like Baz was doing chemistry. Jesus, that chemistry stuff is wild. Where they're predicting where what is the makeup of the various different elements and stuff, and you could get GPT chat to just spew out questions at you and then give you answers and stuff. So I think it's almost like if you didn't have a friend to come over at the time, you could at least get the AI to do it for you. But I tell you, I found studying with people a lot easier because you've also have the fact that you have the memory locked into the friendship angle as well is great. How did your friend do?
The friend who told me about it.
No, who quizzed you? Yeah.
Quiz. Well, he's actually the guy that told me that I got the highest mark.
He was probably pissed.
Yeah, he didn't get. I'm not gonna say that I didn't get a good mark, but he did not get the mark that she was looking from everybody.
Nice.
So,
That's fantastic.
but we
I'll
had
go
to.
with that. Yeah.
We had to redo it today, so I quizzed him in the morning instead of him quizzing me, and he says he thinks he did a lot better than the first time. So,
Why did you have to do it again?
because
No.
they're letting people use their phone as a calculator, and
Yeah.
they're like
Oh,
they hid it
no.
under the desk and searched up the answers.
That sucks.
Oh, wait, even in that? Wait.
So they're using
Wait,
their phone
wait.
in the test to answer the questions.
Yeah,
But even so, you did a better score than them?
yeah, I did.
Oh my god, that's a good point. That's a good point, Gimpy. You beat the
Yep,
cheaters.
did better than the cheaters.
You kicked the cheaters' ass, even though you weren't. Wow, that's not bad, buddy. Not bad at all.
That just means Vibe Pub's going to do even better on the next one.
That's true. Yeah.
I wouldn't make him redo it, but that's just me.
Yeah,
We
that's a
did
good
already,
point.
and I think I got perfect. So
Yeah, it's true. Nixie
That's
Geek
fun.
raises a good point, and they got caught. That makes them even worse. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do
True.
that, at least get away with it. That's. Oh, I'm so glad. That's good. That's gotta feel really good. Is that your best? Is that your best subject now? No.
it is. I'm not good with any other subjects really.
Are you not good at, it, or are you just not interested?
I'm not too interested, but I'm
Oh,
still getting like a passing grade in every other one.
Oh,
So
good.
that's
There you go. That's good. Yeah. When do they start counting towards your like university and all that kind of stuff?
I'm still in middle school. I'm not in high school yet.
Okay, so you've got so it's not gonna make a. You don't need to have certain marks to get into the high school of your dreams type thing or anything.
Yeah.
I'm taking autofocus off because my camera's doing weird things. So it's probably
You
better.
sure
if
that's not your face?
I'm better slightly out of focus, I think. Anyways, thank you. I almost beat Gimpy G to it, but I couldn't quite. All right, so the quiz thing I thought was an interesting thing. What else was there? There's something else that was in my little list of things that I thought was neat.
Can we try to make a game with GBT if we have time at the end?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just came up with an idea. Could
like
we make it do 20 questions with us? We come up with something we think of. Like somebody in chat comes
Okay.
up with an person, place, or thing. Okay, something weird. And then we get chat GPT to ask yes or no questions so that it can guess what that thing was. And it's got 20 shots.
It should be pretty good at it, shouldn't it? In that it's got.
If we can figure out how to prompt it correctly.
Yeah. The question is how to trick it into playing the game properly, isn't it? All right. Yeah. We'll give that a go. All right, let me see if there's anything else. Assignments, proving to the. Oh, I thought this was a good one. Get the students to mark the GPT answers. Right? So get the students to put in a prompt, and then have the students grade the paper that it presents, and say what they think is right, what's wrong, what they like about it, what they don't like about it. Because again.
Damn, that's a good idea.
All the writing is just taking thoughts and putting them on paper, right? Isn't that they're taking your thoughts, they're taking your thinking, they're taking the process that you're going through to get to your point, and they're putting it on paper. It's a bit like math, like you said. You can have a calculator and write down the answer, but if you can't show me how you got to that answer, you don't get the full mark. Surely the same thing would then apply to the GPT answers as well, right? If you can't support what it's spitting out at you, then you're not going to get the full mark for anyways. Like I think it'd be really neat to just have it as part of your essay writing process.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting point. Like I was allowed to use calculators in that school to learn how to do all that nuclear stuff in the Navy. Like you were allowed to use a calculator. However, you had to show every step. You could use the calculator to do within the step, but then you had to draw like if you had to reduce something or rounds or whatever, solve for X, you had to solve it for X, and then you could use the calculator for the end.
Which makes sense because you want to know. It's not just for the teachers. If you don't write down the process yourself, you go, how did I end up with this number? Like why is this wrong? Like the number of times I've gone like, well, where did I screw that up? And it's because I forgot to do one step of the equation or I missed a number or I got the wrong number in or I squirreled while I was trying to do it.
What's even funnier about that is, so just this morning, I was trying to do some Excel stuff, right? And like, you actually have to Excel. Some people argue Excel makes you dumber because it's doing all this math for you. But like, for you to quote unquote program Excel
Oh my
correctly
God, the
to
functions
get
and
it to
stuff?
do,
Yeah.
to do all the functions correct, like you have to know order of operations. I mean, you're basically writing a map.
You know, I have a confession to
Right?
make on that front. I
Oh,
use
boy.
Google Sheets, and I had
Yeah.
Chat GPT write me a Google Scripts for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it did it.
And it worked?
Yep, a cut and paste worked perfectly.
Holy crap.
Yeah, no, it's like one of my conspiracy theories, because I love them. I don't actually love them, but one of the reasons why I think there's so many tech layoffs in these high tech companies now is that they don't need as many people anymore. They're not going to need them. They've got to be looking at the future and going, like, we don't need a room full of programmers when their collective knowledge is already available at the click of a button with this this technology.
I mean, this is getting so it's treading dangerously close to sci-fi, man.
We're there.
It really is.
I think we're there. Like, I think we literally have to start going, like, what else are humans going to do other than work for a living? Because we don't. I don't know what we're going to be good enough to do anymore. You know. So one of the other things that came up in this whole AI thing was the idea that there's a company, which I wish I can remember the name of the company. I'm gonna have to do this. I'll have to put this in the show notes. DoNotPay.com. See, I'm that organized. DoNotPay.com. It's this kind of. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it's a bit like Better Call Saul. It's a legal firm software that gets you that applies loopholes to things like parking tickets and speeding tickets and that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool.
And it's so instead of hiring a lawyer for hundreds of dollars an hour, you just use their AI system, and it creates a letter that you then mail off or whatever, or email off, and it gets you. They're claiming will get you off whatever you need to, whatever it's capable of getting you off. But the idea is that
remember, Better Call Saul knew exactly what Beanie Baby, the clerk, needed for her collection. So,
well, yeah, there's going to be
nothing's going to replace Saul.
There's definitely a certain amount of that stuff that I mean, I don't want to say for a second that it could be anywhere near Saul.
Yeah, but the AI doesn't personally know the judge because he had lunch with him yesterday.
Right.
Exactly.
So, well, you know.
But this is the funny thing. Unlike AI image generating or GPT chat or the coding, whatever the coding app is, this one got shut down. Why? Because other lawyers threatened to sue. So basically,
this is the one where the guy wanted to have the AI in his.
Yes,
he wanted
his client.
He wanted to have the AI in his ear while he was at the court.
He wanted his client to have access to his phone, and the phone would have an earpiece, and the earpiece would tell him what to say based on what it was hearing from the court. Right. And he announced that he was gonna do this. It was a parking ticket, so it wasn't like he was no one's going away for murder or anything. And he was told that he would be thrown in jail if he brought this technology into the courtroom. And I was like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, to me, law is the perfect use of ChatGPT. You are looking for obscure, very specific things in a bunch of old books. They hire poor, law students to go and, interns to run around and get all this stuff for it. The lawyers charge ridiculous amounts of money for that so-called knowledge. Yeah. And this is AI that can put this stuff together. And also, lawyers' job is to make things more complicated. So AI could potentially cut through some of that. Sorry, I sound like I'm so anti-lawyer. I don't want to be anti-lawyer, but I just think that there's a level.
I hate lawyers.
It extends beyond just the lawyer thing, because it's kind of on all of our responsibility to know what the laws are.
Oh, Dinosaur Dave says that there's an opening arguments podcast that explains it really well if you want to see it from an actual lawyer perspective. I think this guy is a lawyer, though.
There is.
I think this guy is a lawyer.
Put it aside, even before you get to the point where you need the lawyer, right? How does someone know if some particular obscure thing that you would like to do is illegal or not? Right? Well, you could just punch it into this thing that knows all the laws.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to, it's, well, and it's really funny because in South Carolina, I think it was South Carolina where I used to live, there was actually a law on the books for the city where it was like the second Tuesday of a month, like a man was allowed to strike his spouse on the courthouse steps.
What?
Like literally.
Yeah, those old,
Like yeah, like you were allowed to do it, but the only way you were legally allowed to do it is like at this particular location at the courthouse on the front steps. I know it sounds like such a stupid rule, but it's actually
Well,
there
are
are
a
these
lot of
rules on the
those.
books, right?
There's a lot of these stupid rules.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like imagine if you could just, put aside the stupid rules and like imagine that there's a bunch of legitimate rules
Well,
that people just don't
architecture.
know. Right?
Architecture, perfect example. You're building
yeah.
a house. You gotta
Totally.
hire a freaking like.
Oh yeah,
like
all the code,
all the codes,
all
that
code
crap.
compliance.
Imagine
and like,
tying that into an AI where you could say, design me a house that will work in this area with the codes available in this area.
Right.
And it designs the house.
And then
you say,
and
I
then
want
it
it
just does it.
taller. And they say, okay, well, you can only go this tall. Or if you're going to be that tall, you have to add this many trees. Or like there's, I actually looked up AI architecture because I thought that would a perfect use of it. Very clear, specific rules that could be applied to a 3D model that would then apply all the things you needed to something like that. I think
like
someone's doing
the
it.
rules.
I don't think
the lawyer
you're totally
thing
right.
would work.
I mean,
You don't think
well,
the lawyer
you mean-
thing would
you
work
mean-
for like parking tickets?
you mean like on the fly or like
parking tickets?
Maybe
speeding
for
tickets?
parking tickets, but like a lot of people go into a lawyer and say, I want to do this. Tell me how to do it legally. And then they start pushing the fringes. And because law isn't math.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
not
not saying you
mathematics.
necessarily
It's
have to replace
interpretation.
them. And I wouldn't say, but I
And
wouldn't
then
say it's
your
necessarily
ability-
replacing
right.
them. You're just taking it from like 3 weeks of research that you're paying for to 3 minutes of research that they can then pull
Right.
up and read
No,
over, and in one night can tell you what their perspectives are on this stuff.
But the zoning for sure, because when we put in the lift for me, we had to change the bathtub, so that costs like another
Right.
$4,000.
Ah.
Because if I have a lift, that means you're putting a disabled person of certain abilities down into it, and so the tub had to be a reclining tub.
Oh, which you
just
wouldn't
to
have
show
known
you,
until you put that in.
right?
I
So
think-
we had to like waste all the time
Mm,
and all of that, and all that money raised with the Charlie, like 47,000. 44 of it went to the bathroom
Oh, seriously?
track.
So
Yeah.
So here's an interesting point from all that, and that is, yes, you can have the AI plugged into all of the databases and all of the laws and everything. But
Exactly.
there's like,
Yeah.
but there's sometimes not sometimes there's plenty of things that would be considered a gray area,
Yeah.
right? And then like,
Yeah.
what does the AI do with the gray area? Does it just
It gives you a bunch of different
say
citations that you could then read over and make your own decision on. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that we should replace lawyers with these things, but I'm saying that you could replace an awful lot of legal assistance.
Well, not only that, I bet you the first place it ends up is the judge using it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, right? That's so true. Yeah.
Same for the teacher argument you were making earlier, right?
Explain
like you were saying,
the
the
internet
teachers
to
were
me.
using it.
Yeah, explain the internet to me. It's
Right.
like those. It's like there was that case against Ticketmaster, and it was like every single politician had to try to make some kind of joke about Taylor Swift to show how hip they were.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was so pathetic.
Maybe politicians need to use this ChatGPT thing before anybody else actually to like learn
I
about
could
the
see
thing they're trying
replacing
to talk about.
politicians for sure.
Well, I mean, that's politicians
boy.
would be interesting because you could say like, tell me the different options I have in regard to this latest bill or whatever. And then it would give them a list of stuff, and then they could say, okay, now tell me how many people are in favor or who's going to vote more for. Like, it's kind of horrible how much detail they'll be able to get on this stuff, I think. So, all right, we talked about the law thing. I just thought the law thing was neat because I thought you've got such a backlog. There's such a backlog of bullshit legal stuff to get through, especially since the pandemic. And so the idea that if we could somehow, like, A, make that cheaper, and B, I hate people who do letters, and second, also make it faster. where it could like an AI could basically debate with the the defendant AI could argue with the prosecuting AI, and then there could be judge AI, and then a human would just oversee it all just to make sure that there's nothing weird going on. You know what I mean?
All
But I
I'm
could see
seeing.
that happen.
All I'm seeing is. All I'm seeing now in my brain right
Future
now is
time.
and this is gonna date all of us. Well, it's gonna date all of us, but Buck Rogers in the 25th century, right? Like he.
See,
Yeah.
I was gonna go to to thought crimes
Like-
in 1984.
There was the council of nothing but AIs that were
Mm.
making all the rulings for everybody, right?
I think that's going to happen. I think in some areas is definitely going to happen. I mean, but like you're going to go to the Department of Zoning and whatever, and there's just going to be a bunch of freaking mainframes that are if we have mainframes. I mean, whirring away at whatever rules need to be changed based on various different accidents that have happened or materials. I mean, like if you think about it, you just pile in all the information about the bricks and the mortar and the this. It'll figure out how high they can be safely, what kind of reinforcement it would need. There's so many. I think this would be amazing. Yes, Aquatus says that mainframes just dated me more than Buck Rogers.
That is true.
That is very true. All right, and then there was one more AI story that I had to go into because I just the AI of the dead. This is a Black Mirror story. Like,
Oh boy.
It was a Black Mirror
this
story.
is.
Remember, it was like, how long ago was that? Maybe 5 years ago. There was a Black Mirror about a robot that is basically is a digital version of someone's dead husband.
I thought you were going with where they were trying to force the politician to have sex with a pig.
No, there's that,
Phew.
but that wasn't AI.
Thank God we dodged
that?
that one.
Was that
No,
AI?
no, you're right. You're right. See, I was totally off.
Obviously struck a chord with UPG though. No, this was the idea that you could somehow capture enough information about your loved one so that when they die, you can have them recreated and you can talk to them. So in the Black Mirror case, it was a full-on robot that showed up and would talk to her as if it was her husband type thing. This is a company that is claiming that after 7 hours of footage of you, that they can create an AI that will sort of that you'll be able to come in and have a chat with type thing. It feels very kind of scammy right now, but you project ahead.
What was Superman's dad's name?
There you go.
Kal-El.
Kal-El, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that was Superman.
the crystals.
I can't remember.
The crystals of
What was his dad? Superman.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
Jor-El? Wasn't
because
that
his
Jor-El?
dad was an AI. Jor-El. Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But again, so he downloaded his information into this thing, and then this thing would speak back to him like as if he was his father. I mean,
Right.
there's something kind of fascinating about that to me because I'm not saying I want to talk to dead people. Well, I mean, I would like to talk to dead people, but it would be kind of cool to if you could capture your grandfather. If you could capture enough information about your grandfather, and you could ask it, if that was somebody who you asked a lot of questions to, I don't need the mushy emotional side of it. I would just be very curious to know what the likelihood that my grandfather would agree with this or agree with that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Be careful. Be careful what you wish for, David. Be careful what you wish for.
No, I think it's going to happen. I think it's absolutely going to. I don't think it's going to happen with my grandparents, but it's going to happen with me. It could happen.
But what I mean is, you might, say that does happen in the future. You're going to have a whole, grandchildren all over the world are suddenly going to realize how opposed their views might have been to their great grandfathers and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's also you add bias to that, right? I mean, there's this.
Oh my God, he's right. Alan's right. We're gonna have a whole bunch of racist AI.
That's it.
Yeah.
Complaining about women's rights and things. Yeah, no, I think. But if you look at if you were to take all of the video that's available from films and TV and interviews and all that kind of stuff, I mean, and I'm not even a good example. Like, it's someone who's like crazy famous. There's a lot of information. Like Obama is a great one because Obama was used to they deep faked Obama quite well because they could they could take so many press release things from him and then have him say whatever they wanted to, basically. And it was really this company that was doing it. I was looking at it because I started to look at it because I thought, oh, let me see. I'd be curious to know if I could get it to do like a little bit of this hosting to see if it worked. They're a company called PlayHT. But it sounds like it wants clean audio. So I thought it'd be better for me to sit down with it and actually speak to it what it wants to be spoken to, so that they could do it properly. Because otherwise,
I feel like they would need to ask you personality questions too.
Yeah, and this is not trying to recreate me. This is just trying to recreate my voice at this point. But I think it'd be interesting.
Okay, if that's all it's doing.
But it'd be interesting to have it. I mean, it could analyze everything you've ever done that's available publicly and make a decision.
You just plug it into you just plug the voice into ChatGPT, and and then David Hewlett's AI is hosting the Tech Bandits next week.
And they've
no.
Look, and one of the awful things that they do this all the time. All of these podcasters and stuff are like, we had GPT wrote the whole beginning of this show, and it's like, whatever. Like, it's just
yeah. And then AI Gimpy would just get in there and throw the jabs in at the David Hewlett AI.
AI Gimpy wouldn't be able to say anything because it would hit every guardrail that the AIs have in place. He'd be the quietest you've ever heard him on a podcast.
Is it broken? No, it just knows better than to speak.
It's just really accurate, and the AI won't say anything it's supposed to. Yeah.
That's
so
great.
true. That's so true.
AI version of Gimpy has a new disability. He's just mute.
He won't say anything. Yeah, because the lawyers won't let him. All right, last couple of sciencey things. Were these? I just couldn't resist these. There was these fireworks supernovas and this Milky Way graveyard of stars. And I guess like the images were beautiful. I don't know if I can I bring them up? I wonder if I can bring them up. The images are insanely beautiful, but the point, I think, I'll put the links in the wait a second, I can do this. I think I can do it. What I found fascinating was this was stuff that they were like people who've been studying supernovas their entire life, and they're like, we had no idea that this was possible, that this kind of thing could actually happen. And then I started reading the article, and one of the things that popped up that I found fascinating was that it was originally discovered by an amateur astronomer who was just looking through old data. And I was like, how cool is that? That someone who's not even like a professional astronomer is like making discoveries that people would, that people have been doing this for 30 years hadn't figured out. Let me see if I can do, is this it? Email?
Yeah, I want to see this.
Let me see if I can do it. Source, Nature Briefing. Oh boy, it's going to tell you all about that, huh? Let me see if this works. Well, the link has all this extra stuff on it, so let me just see if that works. Yes, it does.
What did you say it found? Like what?
So.
Oh, there it is.
So basically, this was. So this astronomer's been working for 30 years. Says they've never seen anything like it. It's a firework display, basically. Normally, when these things blow up, they're kind of these crab-like, chaotic messes. This is this beautiful. It looks exactly like a firework. Can I show you the fire? Can I show you the firework? I think I might be able to. Let me see if I can show you.
I see it.
You got it? There you go. I got it on the screen. I put it on the screen.
Crazy.
So what was neat about this was that this guy who's been studying these things for 30 years as an astronomer is like, this is amazing. It was discovered by this freaking amateur guy who was, where does it say? It says who was looking through. Yes, discovered the object in archived images from NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer. Like, how cool is that?
That's really cool.
Yeah. And what I got from this article, and the other one is this graveyard of stars, which I've got to show you. It'll probably say, oh, you got to now pay for... Oh, no, it's going to let me. This is this other one, this graveyard of stars, which sounds like a VibePup image prompt. But this is... They discovered that the Milky Way like, given how many of these things that they saw, these stars dying, that they'd seen, they felt there should be more of them happening in the Milky Way, and they couldn't find them. So what do? They come up with a different way of identifying these dying stars. And in doing so, they found this whole section of the Milky Way, which is just full of these dead stars, which they've now sort of dubbed the stars graveyard. And again,
Galactus is real.
It is Galactus. It's total Galactus. It's just beautiful. And again, in this article, they just talk about the idea that astronomy, it's not just about sending new things out and gathering all this data. It's about going out there and then reimagining this data. Like, the data hasn't changed. We've got it. And we'll go and explore other elements of things that, other areas of things to try to sort of back things up. But the idea that discoveries are being made not by looking up to the sky, but by plowing through all this data we already have with a new sort of perspective. And I just thought that I don't know what that was. Something about that really just kind of got me excited, because I thought, like, that's like anybody could be. Dude. Anybody could be like a scientist of this sort. Which reminds me, there's another story which I don't have in here, which I thought that you would love, Lance. It was these robotic, God, what were they? Robotic something or another's. Let me see if I can find it.
Sex slave? No.
Well, no. But I imagine you could go there with it. No, have I got it? I'm not sure if I still got it in my list of things. Oh, come on. Maybe I do. Let me check.
I would love for them to build a robot called the Walkabout, and I could watch it on my iPad from its eyes, and it could go through the forest, and I could see and explore things maybe somebody else hasn't seen.
Well,
but
okay,
it's me
that's what
seeing
this
it
thing
for
was.
the first time.
Well, that's basically what this thing was. It was people who couldn't move were being used to augment AI and robotics. So you would be piloting these robots. And it was something that I've sort of talked about this before in a sort of a sci-fi kind of a way. The idea that, why we can have these things out exploring the planets. What if you could have remote control of them in some way, shape, or form, or even just be able to visit them in a virtual way, so that you can add a human perspective to whatever is happening on that planet. Admittedly, there's going to be a delay. Right. I'm assuming we'll get better at that. But and the idea of having people who may not be able to move in our physical world, but could be kitted up to work with these robots just seems like a great opportunity for people with disabilities to actually have like a cool job.
You know what would be an advantage too? Like, I don't know about mobility. I don't understand which way to use your muscles for walking and stuff.
Right.
Whereas that's ingrained in you guys. So I could be put into a body that uses, say, jet propulsion, and that would be something I learned. So then I'm as familiar with that as you are with walking and
it becomes like an extension. It could become an extension of your own mobility. But I also just love the idea that it's adding a human element to these machines that we're sending out into space, which is what I think we should be doing anyways. I don't think we should be sending astronauts. I think it's a waste of freaking money. Absolutely. I just think that trying to figure out how to make our little bags of water work in zero gravity with radiation and all this kind of stuff, like, I feel like we're not there yet. Like, let's just get the spaceships and the rovers out there, start building these places so that we can go and visit it. Great. But the idea that we have to be the ones to step out there just feels egotistical and stupid and naive even. I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, but now I'm like, I think astronauts should be robots and they should be piloted by Gimpy G. There you go.
What if...
I've said
it. Okay, I like the Gimpy G part. But I've always thought, if you look at how many people became scientists because of the lunar landing and what that did to the world. I mean, the future was science and everybody wanted to be a scientist and people knew who scientists were. I feel like there's and it never
Yeah,
goes throughout humanity.
there's a marketing
you know,
element to it. There's a marketing element to it. I agree.
Right.
I agree. Like you want to
you know,
inspire people.
the Rockies were, they were impassable.
Hmm.
So then everybody wanted to make it past those Rockies, to see what it was.
Hmm.
And tons of people died doing it. But once they did find the way through, those people are famous, and the whole thing opens up, and everybody else wants to partake.
But this feels a bit like Everest to me, where
it's worse than Everest.
It's rich people having enough money and time to hire people to risk their lives while they climb something that's already been climbed a million times. I feel like, yes, we've been to the moon. Yes, we can put a man on the moon. Fantastic. Now, to me, what a brilliant way of adding to that would be, can we create some kind of a habitat on the moon? And we don't need humans for that. It doesn't make any sense for humans to be building that. That should be built by robots.
When you're talking about the building up of the infrastructure and all that, we don't need guys out there dying doing the drilling and the mining and all that.
Well, and it's expensive. It's just expensive. To have humans, you got to bring food, you got to bring water, you got to bring and you've got to have all these protections that these robots don't need, right? I mean, what is if we get good enough with the VR type stuff, and I don't mean like having to move your head and all that crap. I mean like, if we can tap into someone's freaking brain with one of Elon Musk's little chips, hopefully not by Elon Musk, and they're connected to those robots. Why is that any different than being in a freaking spacesuit?
True.
Being pumped air that we can't afford to carry or that we have to come up with complicated systems to create. I mean, I know it's not terribly romantic. Like, I feel like I've lost that I'm talking like an old man now, but I just don't see the point.
You've lost the romance.
I just don't see the point though. Like, I don't, like, it's just as cool. Do you
think, could the privatization have killed it too? Because when we went to the moon, it was humanity going to the moon, or America, basically. We all got together and got that there. And then now it's, some rich dude.
Well, I mean, I don't know that there's much difference between America saying we want to get there before Russia and Elon Musk saying he wants to get there before Amazon. I don't know there's that much. I think I think we've romanticized that over the years. Like, we were terrified. Sputnik was up there, and we're like, holy crap, the Russians have a freaking spy satellite, and we haven't even got off the planet. I mean, so I think we were scared, weren't we? I mean, like, wasn't that the
dance?
Like, I don't know that we were particularly, just take this rich person's money. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll take this rich person's money and then build a robot that can go there and can work there for the next 10 years.
Exactly. See, makes sense.
And what's great is you could have a network of Lances around that could take turns piloting this thing and controlling this thing, or even just overseeing this thing and making the odd, decision that the robot's having trouble with. I mean, it doesn't have to be people who can't move, but it just seems like a great opportunity because they're not, it's because they could be wired into this stuff in a way that people who don't have these disabilities would not like, for that matter, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Lance, you'd be up for some kind of a spinal cortex tap that would allow you to move things, right?
Holy. I'd love that.
And those could be moved either in your room with you or across the planet or on another planet. I mean, so why not just hook those up to a rover of some sort,
Yeah.
Private space programs will be opaque, but yes, look, I love the idea of everyone getting along kumbaya and we've all got a space station, but the reality is that it's not really the case anyways, right? I mean, like, we're at war with Russia, basically. There's a good chance we're going to be at war with China. We're not, it's not like we're getting along and sharing a lot of stuff right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we all talk about it like it's great for mankind, but what we really mean is it's great for our kind. I mean, is that just being too jaded, do you think? I mean...
Well, no, I could definitely see... Because a lot of things in the 70s became international space station, international this and that, and I like that.
But China was not involved in that, right?
I don't think so.
I think China was one of the countries that was not involved in that for some reason.
Which is stupid. We're
Well-
just so afraid of like
Ugh.
these different things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as my friend who keeps joking about late stage capitalism. We're at this point where we've got to start, stop this silly process of trying to everyone trying to make a buck type thing. And I mean, look, AI may force us to make some changes to capitalism because I mean, what do you do when you've got a workforce that doesn't need to work, right? I mean, that's coming with robots and
Well,
AI.
in capitalism, you just let them starve, dude.
You just starve to death. Exactly. Right. And I think that's probably, but there's enough people starving to death at that point that I think they politically have a lot more sway than that 1% of people who own now, everything, which is basically where we're going right now. So, China in the 70s, they had bigger problems. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Parts of the Russian space station were made in China. Really? Huh. Wait a sec. You got that from Armageddon? Wait a sec, you got that from Armageddon the movie?
Fight with China, by the way.
I think you may want to check that GPT reference on that. All right, so I think I've actually covered everything. So we can play with the GPT thing if you want. Do you want to do that? Oh, like Vipup, do you got anything to add? Do you got anything to add? Please don't take English instructions from me.
Say that again. My brain is running around.
No, I was just gonna say, is there anything in there you want to add to anything? You've got any sciencey things? Any updates for us of any sort?
Not really.
That's good. No pressure. Just checking.
Except he kicked ass at that science.
Kicking science ass. Kicking science ass. That's Vipup's new catchphrase. Vipup.
Oh,
Kicking science ass. Oh, by the way, so this idea that I had actually, I'm good. I've got Vipup here. Vipup every so often sends me these prompts, like these AI prompts, right? And
for the art.
Yeah. And so I'll just if I get a second, I'll throw it through the Midjourney that I pay for and send him the images. And then I asked him the other day, I said, do you mind can I quote you on these? Because some of them they're like prompt poetry. So I thought I should start doing Tech Bandits presents prompt poetry. And then you could show the images as you say the prompts that people like Vipup have come up with. And I just want to show you, Vipup, would you be embarrassed if I showed them some of your stuff? Oh, I can't hear you, but.
Oh.
Are you okay with that?
This could be a solid no.
Yeah, it might be. It's either a solid no or his mic's failing him.
He turned my mic on and off. Yeah, you can show him. I don't mind.
Your mic is freaking out, by the way. Okay. So I'll read you the prompt, unless Vipup wants to read it.
You can read it.
All right. Your mic is doing weird things, Vipup.
Up and down, left and right.
It sounds like you're talking through a sock or something. Okay. So this is this. So I'll read you the first one. So the first one that he sent me, I was like, wow, I just sort of assumed, before I realized he was a poet genius, that these were just things that he read somewhere or something. So he says, just got a very good Midjourney prompt. Looking up from the lush cave to the darkness that lies above. Pretty cool, right? So
that sounds like a euphemism for birth. But go ahead.
Yes, I'm not sure that's where Vipup was going with it, but okay.
Probably not.
Okay, so wait a sec. So let me see if I can get these big enough that you can actually see what's going on. All right. Can we sort of see what's going on here? Okay, so that's what we got. And it's this weird kind of inception. Now I've got Gimpy G's idea in my head. But it's this it's this sort of inception in nature that this thing is created. Can I get, will it let me scroll through?
By World Production.
There you go. Oh, see ya. Thanks so much for coming by, World Production. I'm sorry if I haven't got to people's subscriptions and stuff. Thank you very, very much. And I apologize if I haven't been able to leap into the chat. There's just been so much to talk about. So again, looking up from the lush cave to the darkness that lies above. Again, there's this weird kind of. It sort of doesn't. Yeah, I love this one. This one's really nice. Should we make them a little bigger? Can I do that?
Oh wait, this picture is the one you just said. Looking up from the lush cave
Yeah.
into the darkness beyond.
To the darkness that lies above.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Darkness that lies above. Okay, no.
And there should be one more. There you go. This one's sort of more bouldery looking. But I like the way the boulders are matched by the bushes and stuff. Then we got... Oh, I got a bunch
Cool.
of... And this...
And now I can't stop seeing it as my way.
Yeah, I know.
Like those are the doctor,
you've just
doctor
ruined it.
and nurse looking in.
No. We're not going to talk about it. There's some neat... Anyway, so this is it. So these are the ones that they came up with. All right, so I'm gonna do. So the other one, which I thought this one is epic. Let me see if I can find this one. Here we go. Okay,
Whoa, that's
so
cool.
the new one was this one. Distraught at the sight of the broken sky. What about that?
Ooh, distraught at the sight.
At the sight of the broken sky. Look at that.
Is Vibe Pup microdosing? Just a question.
I really hope not. Because this is brilliant. Like, it's really beautiful. And like, just like crazy complicated. Look at that one. I sort of understand where this broken sky is coming from, right? Look at that one.
Like in this guy's head. This is cool.
I love this one. There's like a shame to it, you know? That's very sci-fi.
Whoa.
Very sci-fi. It's that weird
It's
sort of...
all very sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, but what's so weird is, I guess because of the lush cave as the prompt and the other one, it's all nature. Whereas this one with the broken sky, for some reason, I guess broken sky has made it think of these. They all look like really good science fiction novel covers.
Yeah.
Look at this one. I like this as well because you're like, he's looking through the window of like some kind of a spaceship. There's like spacecraft falling out of the sky. And it's also in his face. Like if you look at his face, I don't know if can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? No, I can't. Seems I cannot. Yeah, you can see there's like elements of this broken sky in the guy's face and in his jacket as well. It's just really cool.
Wow.
Look at this one. There's another great one here. In this sort of a picture frame of the sky. Like this, like I know there was one of my favorite author guys, is a guy by the name of Cory Doctorow. He's like a technology guy. He writes science fiction. Really cool guy. And he was asked about AI, and I thought he was going to be against it because he's always looking out for the little guy and stuff. So I thought he was going to say, "Oh, they're big corporations ripping off." But he said, my problem is, like, is something similar to what I'd said before, which is he said, artists learn by studying art. AI is not it's not ripping people off. It's learning from their art.
From other styles.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, there is a lawsuit happening, and I'll send you a video to that, which is really the Corridor Crew guys, I think it was, did a thing on it, where they were saying that the lawsuit's going to hinge not really on the copyright infringement of them using the images, but it's going to be on whether they're allowed to iterate those images, like whether they're allowed to use them as the basis for their models, right? Without a licensing fee. But this, I find this inspiring. It makes me want to go and paint something, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you want to? It makes you want to write a story or like
write a story is what it makes me want.
I want to write a story about this guy standing in a picture frame. I don't know. I just find this stuff like, look at this. Look at that. That's freaking awesome.
No, I love it. The interesting thing on this one is the sky is completely different colored inside the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the next one, which you'll catch up on in a second, is this beautiful sort of sunset with another another sort of sunset behind it, and there's and for some reason this
I
battered
just saw that one.
battered and shattered screen door, which has a poetry to it that I mean, my God, I sound like a pretentious
Whoa,
art critic,
dude.
but I just think this is awesome. Look at this one. There you go. This could be like the cover of a Anne Rice novel or a Anne McCaffrey novel or something.
Do I understand it correctly? You have access to Cory Doctorow?
I don't know.
Or no?
No. He's
Okay.
I believe he's Canadian, and he's someone who a friend of mine is a huge fan of his. I don't think I've read any of his books, but I've definitely read a lot of articles by him about sort of capitalism
Well,
and.
Do you know if his dad was a science fiction writer or granddad?
I don't
Because from the golden age of sci-fi, like the 30s and 40s into the 50s, there was a Doctorow.
Ha.
And now this guy writes, and I don't think he's 80 or 90, is he?
No. I don't think so. He seems young to me. I think that's all of them. There you go. So there you go. So that was
another prompt.
Well, you got more prompts for me?
Yeah, I just got another prompt. I just sent it.
All right, what we got?
Oh, I want to say, beautiful prompts, dude.
Man. Oh, this is going to be good. This may take a while, though. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I'm going to put this in. Wait for people to have this. Oh, you can see it. Everyone can see it.
Are these first iterations, David?
They are. That's a good question. Let me have a look. I do it twice. I run it twice.
Okay.
Is what I've been doing. I've been running it twice and then up-resing each one. So I'll get 8 images in 2 split up little quarter images, and then I will up-res all of those.
That's cool.
And just do it twice, just to get 2 different senses of it. And it works really well. I would love to figure out a way. This is a Malventano question. Have we lost Malventano? Did we bore Malventano out of existence? We did. Oh, boy. Sorry, Alan. Thanks for joining us. It was great. Sorry we bored you to death. Is there a way to set up one of these things so that everyone, like the Tech Bandits, could access it the way I'm able to? Like, I pay $30 a month, and it's one of the things I use. I don't feel guilty spending Tech Bandits money on. I spend $30 a month to have Midjourney because I use it I mean, you've seen it. It's in my newsletters now. It's in my tweets. I have so much fun with it. Like, I really enjoy it, and I think it does enhance the experience for both myself and everyone else as well. Shut up, David, and put in the prompt. Here we go. I'm imagining.
Did somebody say that in the chat?
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying it to myself.
Oh, that's David's
said that in the
voice.
chat.
That would be funny though. It's what Gimpy was saying in his head. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
But I was just thinking, like, how many weeks would David be in bed if he made an AI duplicate of himself, and he's like, "So, how do I look in this shirt?" And then it like tells him fat, and then he's like in bed for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like the magic mirror, right? Who's the fairest of them all? You are, David. You are.
No, but it won't say that. It'll be mean.
It's
generating.
Cynical. It's generating. It's generating now, and then I'm gonna I'll have it regenerate.
Show it generating so it can see what it's doing.
You want to see what it's doing?
Okay. Yeah, let's see how the AI thinks.
All right. Here you go.
Oh, have we even said the prompt?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't. Okay, so the prompt is: the thing that lies below would scare even the bravest men. Wow.
God. Oh, now that sounds.
Oh, dude, these are freaking epic. Oh, that's like a butthole monster.
What is happening in the top right one?
Yeah, the top right. It's like it's eating its own tail, and then there's like these little weird little poopy mouths that they've got that are like.
Look at the dude, though.
Wait, who wrote the Chizulu stuff?
That's oh, for God's sake. I've lost it.
Chat. Come on, chat.
Come on, chat. Help me. Help me. Crowley? No,
Necronomicon.
Lovecraft. Crowley
Lovecraft.
was the magician guy. All right.
Yeah.
So should I'll up-res all of them so we can see big versions.
Wait, you gotta do a second
No, and I will.
iteration.
Yeah, but first, there you go. So now this way, it's at least it's generating while we're talking. So otherwise, it does take a while sometimes, especially given the number of ones that I've thrown at it. It's like, God, it's that Hewlett guy again. Stop bugging us with this AI stuff. But those
do you think that is Lovecraftian? Like,
yeah,
if you
it
look
seems
at
very
that, yeah, I would definitely think that. Yeah. Wow.
It's weird though. They've got these weird kind of like they have sort of horrid sort of rectum mouths, like these horrible sort of butthole mouths. You know what I mean?
Rectum damn near killed him.
There we go. We got any new ones yet? No, it's still going. It's still generating away. It's waiting to start.
It's so cool though.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean,
Hi, Sarah.
I did. I put in AI of the dead. You know what I mean? And got these crazy complex skulls, which I thought were very cool as well. You know? Yeah.
Would you say you were a goth kid back in the day?
A goth?
Or would you say you're more punk?
No, I was
goth.
I was a new romantic. I was a 1980s new romantic.
What is that?
You had a mohawk.
I had like floppy shirts and frills and hair and stuff, and then I got into punk later. Yeah.
Okay.
It was all embarrassing. It's all very embarrassing. Looking back. Ooh. All right.
Send
Okay.
you another one. I just got a really good idea.
Here comes. Well, hang on. You're too fast.
Yeah, let's not over ideas. We got like a digest it.
Oh my God.
It's cool. I like that one so much better. It's like a lion.
Like that one. I really like that one. Because it's almost like part of the cave, isn't it?
It's coming out of the cave. It actually
so
looks like it.
That's the first one. That's the first one that it dreamt up. Here's the second one, which I'm not so sure about. I kind of like that, but it looks like a. It's better in higher resolution. I like that it has a kind of it looks like a teen. What's it called? Like it looks like a Percy Jackson monster, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
I'm still bitter about Percy Jackson. That's just
why. Why? What happened?
Well, because they put people like, rock stars and stuff instead of tried, true, really great actors such as I don't know off the top of my head, David Hewlett in there. That really pisses me off.
In the series or in the?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
There is a series.
I know, and you didn't get a part.
No, I know, and I know one of the guys who worked on it. That's even more shameful. Okay, here you go. Here's the next one. Oh, look, he's got like a. That's neat.
Wow.
That reminds me of those fish.
Bye, Sarah.
It's like a moray eel. Bye, Sarah. Thanks so much. Your fajadas are ready. Don't burn your fajadas. Not on our behalf. It reminds me of a moray eel.
It looks like they tried to give the dude in the corner a scuba gear, but they forgot to give him the
mask. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like that kid from The Priest. Or is that the name of it? Preacher.
From Preacher.
Have you ever seen that comic book?
You're looking at the one before. He's behind.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Okay, Jeff.
I just so we're talking about the same thing. Does yours have a yellow scuba tank on now?
My guy does, yeah.
He does. Okay, all right. That's the guy who looks like. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the one that the weird mouth kind of.
It's cool because
I don't know if his name is Assface, but
it looks almost
he tried to kill himself with a shotgun, so he's got like a weird little mouth.
He's got a weird mouth.
If you haven't watched Preacher, you should.
Ooh, these are the new ones. These are the new ones. Wow. That is neat.
The top one kind of reminds me of the guy from High on Life, the shotgun.
Oh, yeah? All right, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see, pull up. I can do up-res all of these.
I have another prompt. I sent it to you.
All right, hang on. Ooh,
my brain's going very fast right now.
That's nice. That's very Thing. That's like the Thing.
That's something you would see in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone
But
needs
John
to.
Carpenter's the thing. Yeah.
Like,
I
what
was
do you?
gonna say.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a horror movie on the things that we think of on Tech Bandit.
Yeah, like what is it? You know, like God, what's it called? If you're eating cannibals, like cannibal Lovecraft animals and things.
Talking about cannibals, there's a game that I'm very excited to get that's coming out soon.
Is it called Cannibals?
No, The Force.
Oh, the Force. Like a
Oh,
Star
the
Wars?
Force too?
Yeah, Sons of the Force is coming out, and I'm excited to get eaten by cannibals and probably screaming.
You can get eaten by animals in a Star Wars game.
No, cannibals. Cannibals.
You can get eaten by cannibals in a Star Wars thing.
No, it's survival.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's like a survival where you get stuck on an island with cannibals and these creepy like mutant guys because they're testing on like children. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't say it. Spoilers, close your ears.
Spoilers, don't listen. Yep, got it. All right, I'll pull those up in a second. I need to do another one. Got Vipup sent me another one.
I wanted the Viking. I don't know why.
That could okay, all right. I'm trying this one. The one that could send the strongest Viking to Valhalla.
I was curious if it would give you like a person or some kind of like Vite.
Yeah, what does it see as the biggest threat? That's interesting. I'm putting it in right now. This is awesome.
I know David's a super like artsy fartsy movie guy now,
That's
but
me.
that's what I liked about the Santa violent Santa thing was that he was Viking.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, that was
back in the
cool. I
Viking
like
days.
that. Yeah, like Viking Santa was cool. There you go, another one. I like all the tentacles. That's creepy. I would not want that thing floating around in the water anywhere near me. I gotta say.
No.
And these are the stuff of nightmares. This one's a bit hokey.
Which one?
This
Is
one,
it got the mini tentacles?
It's gonna. You'll see it in a second. It'll come up. It's like it's numerous men or people standing in front of, not numerous, but 3 or 4, and it's a little bit more cartoony. And of course, it's got the AI multiple fingers.
I actually like that. It makes it look
okay.
claws a lot. It
You know,
it makes it look a lot more like claws that could like.
Yeah, that's true. I just find this one a bit cartoony. It feels a bit like, oh, I come to eat you. You know what I mean? It looks like there's almost too much personality to it. I love this one. This is like the Arrival. Like this is like that the Arrival movie. I like the suitcase he's holding. There's just something really beautiful about that. And
I've been getting into Carl Sagan lately, watching his speeches.
Oh yeah, he's a smart guy.
Do you know?
Man.
Did you know he addressed Congress on climate change in 1985?
Yeah.
85, he was saying, it's going to warm up. This is why it's going to warm up, and we're all going to die. And I know we can't shut off that, but we should open up fission, nuclear reactors, because at least they're not carbon dioxide and all kinds of things. And nobody listened.
No. Well, as Bill Gates was talking about freaking, pandemics like 10 years before the pandemic, and we didn't do anything prep for that either.
Yep.
There's that cartoon. It's this wonderful little cartoon, and it's a bunch of scientists going back in time, and one of them is stepping back out of the time machine, and it says, "I told them. They already knew."
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we already knew. We knew. We know. We know we're screwing it up. There's this complacency, which I both understand and don't understand. This is a beautiful one.
It's the capitalism, man. I'm telling you.
I love this one. I think this is maybe one of my favorites, if not.
Is this the Moray eel one with glowing eyes?
Yeah.
Or have you moved on?
Yeah. It's
beautiful.
It's just 2 characters. It looks like this one's like sacrificing themselves or something. There's all these little tentacly. That's beautiful. And really cool.
It is wonderful.
All right.
The wall is cool too. It's like a boss arena.
Oh, I love the wall. Huh. There you go. I guess it decided that Vikings were the things that were going to send Vikings to Viking Valhalla.
You could write the creature that could send.
Do you want me to change that? You want me to change it?
Yeah, try one with the creature, because then it would give
Oh,
something.
that's weird.
All right.
Oh, never mind. It's okay. That was his other prompt he invented.
Yes. All right. Imagine. Here we go. I'm popping it in there now. Imagine the creature that could send the strongest Viking to Valhalla. There you go. All right, that's coming up. That's you'll watch it churning away. I've also got to fire up GPT chat too. Do we want to try that? What time is it now? It's just two. I got a bit of time. I got a bit of time.
Do we have a bit?
I have a bit. All right, the creature. Here we go. This is it. It's coming up. Will it show? Will it update, or is it gonna see if it'll update for us? Oh crap! It doesn't update in large. 93.
Are they really? Makes you
93.
geek. I did not know that.
95. Oh.
think
I feel like it got confused. It made the monster look like a Viking walrus.
Yeah.
It's like I find sometimes it gets confused and it just wants to make everything into one creature. But sometimes it works beautifully. I can upscale the walrus one, although I'll upscale the fourth one as well.
Very good one too.
All right, one more, and then we're going to the GPT chat to see if it could solve 20 questions for us.
I'm just curious what would it do for that one that I just sent you.
You got another one? Okay, all right. Let me just. I don't want to be sharing your texts. Here we go.
Captain, I thought I read yours wrong. I thought you said it always blends feces into one too.
Lovely.
No, it says faces. It says faces, not feces.
Exactly. It's all those weird butthole monsters that are throwing you off. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the history of the end of time. Kind of a cool title. The history of the end of time. Dun dun dun. All right. And then I should fire up GPT chat too, shouldn't I? Oh, here it comes.
Let's do it.
That. Okay, that's the beginning of it. That's more of it.
Okay, yeah, that looks cool.
There we go.
Oh, it's making like a.
Ooh, it's definitely going with time.
It's going with the clock, like a.
I think that was the first super cool thing you built. Wolf Pup was that neat clock thingamajigger.
Yeah, the
first prompt that was real crazy. Well, no, you did that
There's
Nazi
a
one that was like super
Stargate
crazy.
feel to this. Has a very Stargatey feel to that first one. Let me see. I'll upres them all, and then I'll do another run at them. So I'll do the usual 8, and then I'm going to show you these. I'll show you I just chose 2. It's kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of a creepy hippo walrus Viking monster.
his mustache turns into a.
It's a tusks. Ugh. And the teeth and the tusks that become teeth are kind of creepy too.
Whoa.
All right, then there's this guy.
That's actually really cool. I kind of dig it.
This is kind of like, I mean, he's a neat character, this one. He seems like a good Dungeons and Dragons character. The second one.
That'd be cool. Use that to make your Dungeons and Dragons character. I just want to say, his mustache has metal in it.
Where? Oh, it does. Oh, his
Well,
mustache turns into.
all mustaches have metal.
Well, I should get. Oh, I shaved, didn't I? I forgot I shaved.
Yeah, David had an awesome stash and sideburns at one point. But
my wife said to me, "When did you shave?" And I was like, 3 days ago. She's like, "Oh, sorry." All right, so this is your latest prompt, which I've already forgotten. The history of the end of time. And so I've up-res those. I think this. I don't love them. I like the last 2. I think are my favorites of those. But I've up-res them all so you can see them. Here you go.
I can't tell what that last fourth one is, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean the sands of time and fire and clocks and things. I mean, there's sort of a fun kind of a Dali anime look to it, I guess.
like that one. How the time is at the top and then at the bottom.
There's something neat about the clock and the sand in the hourglass turning into some kind of a church of some sort. Like that's
Is there
again,
any way we could make this sand be little human beings, like flowing through the hourglass?
I'm sure you could.
That'd be weird.
Well, this is when you could. So they've got a new feature called Blend. So what I started to do to get more closer to what I wanted, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, is to take two generated images and then have them blend them together. So you can,
Okay.
so it'll add the elements of both together, which you kind of need. Or you take a photo of like of something that you know that you want to influence it and put that in. All right. Oh, these are looking weird.
Is that how we're getting the David cartoons that are like spot on?
Some of them, although for some reason it's got better at doing Stargate McKay for some reason. I don't know. Probably because I question it so much. Yeah, these are okay. I think we need more to that prompt to make anything really good out of it. I think
Yeah.
that's fun. Like this is a good one. There's something definitely cool about that. Again,
What is it saying
very
on there?
Sci-fi. It's
Or
nonsense.
is that not
It
English?
just makes up stuff. But
Oh, okay.
it almost never puts real words in. But
Yes,
this
Alicia,
but it says
it's called Mid Journey.
Tarst he tamai or cha he tami or the atonic.
Oh my God. Alicia Warren just came up with an awesome idea.
What's that?
Using Mid Journey to create tattoos for people. So they
Ooh.
would have like a completely unique tattoo
Yeah.
created by AI. She's
Well-
going to get rich.
And then you get a 3D printer to do it for you.
On a person
Yeah.
that's crying and
Yeah.
flopping around.
Oh yeah,
I don't
damn
know.
right,
I
damn
don't
right.
know.
Track them and stab them. That's it. That is great though. Like or use them as an inspiration. That's what I'm like. You have it come up with ideas and then you morph that into what you want by using the tools or even just your own abilities or Photoshop. I'll often Photoshop stuff in if I want. Like, I mean, that works as well. Okay, last one of those. Ew, it's kind of creepy. There's something sort of dead that used to be growing, sort of hanging over the side of it. It's very apocalyptic. I wish it didn't have the text on it. Without the text, I think it would be cooler.
It's just black there, so you might be able to just like go on Photoshop and just kind
Yeah.
of make it black.
You could just knock it out, yeah. Or even add an element from one of the other ones. Like you could add sand.
This could definitely be a Stranger Things opening scene.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, here's a few new ones. Here you go. A few new ones here for you. That's pretty cool. With the bell tower and the big clock tower and the crumbling clock. It's pretty freaking neat. And then there's this one. I don't this one feels a bit like a Spielberg movie or something. It feels kind of there's something sort of slightly cheesy about the poster for this one.
Maybe drive in at the end of time. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
that one
kind of
looks like.
that's kind of what it is. That's what it looks like. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, I think when you get more poetic in what you describe, Vibe Pup, that's when it really shines. Like I said this before.
Yeah, it goes
Like,
crazy.
they're only poetic because you've come up with a poetic way of saying stuff. When you just say something like, the history of the end of time, you're not giving it your personal sort of like flair to it as much, right?
Sure.
But when you say things like, the creature that haunts the whatever, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that it goes, okay, I'll play with that for sure. All right, are we looking for? Okay, so what was our idea for how would this chatbot work thing? Let me just
I
pull
don't.
up
Somebody way earlier in chat, that dinosaur or something,
my-
said that he asked it if it knew how to play 20 questions as an initial prompt
Okay.
and saw what it said.
Okay. And what did it say?
I don't know.
Our session has expired. I'm going to log back in. Here we go. Oh. They're at capacity right now.
Son of a.
Of course they are. I mean, I'm surprised it's taken this long. I'm surprised that I've been able to get in so well before this, honestly.
What is the, why can't we do it on our iPads?
Can you not?
That's what I've been told.
Really?
Are you using it on your iPad?
Well, I haven't tried it, but I think I've used it on my iPhone. I'm sure I've used it on my iPhone. Let me just check. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I've used Midjourney, but not GPT chat.
Just check.
Because if it does work, I stay up till like 2:00 every night, so
Yeah,
I'll be on there all the time.
I mean, it's not. They're scaling their systems right now, so it sounds like it's not actually working. But yeah, it works on the iPhone as well. So you should be able to. You should totally do that.
Okay. Do you just go in through
yeah, it's just
the
chat.
web browser?
I'll show you. Chat open. Yeah, just go to chatopenai.com. I'll put
Okay,
it,
cool.
I'll put it in the chat.
Thanks, dude.
Right now. Oh my god, I
I've been
didn't know you
so
even know
jealous.
that. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but right now it seems like it's oversubscribed right now, which is probably good because it's almost 20 after. I should get back to life. I should get back to my boring life. Wolf Pup, that's the
Well,
forward.
I do want to say I was very proud of you, dude, of, pushing through. Everything went wrong. You still went through with it, and you made those kids' lives more interesting that day.
I don't know.
And I think that's cool, buddy.
Well, thank you. I hope that's the case. I definitely, I was struggling, man. It's weird having to be the grown up in the room every so often. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking about being a grown up in the room, I've said yes to my first convention in like 5 years or something.
Oh, good.
And it's
Good.
It's here. I think it's in Kitchener. It's either in Kitchener
Now, I assume you're going to make a gold chain, hook your iPad to it, put it around your neck, and that'll be your second head right in the middle of your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, I was going to just put you in front of my face. I was going to wear you as a face mask. Yeah,
I would do it as a mask. Yeah.
But the idea, maybe actually we might be able to do that because there's actually there's like a STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math angle to it as well. That's the reason why I said yes to it. So I'm gonna do a Q&A. I'm gonna talk about Stargate and do the usual song and dance about that, which I'm always fine to do. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
But the hope is to also talk a little bit about lifelong learning and curiosity and kids and all that kind of stuff. So that's the hope. And so what I've done is I've signed up. I'm not doing all of. I'm not like a part of the. I'm not doing all the. The signings and the photographs and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to as a guest to talk and say hi to people, and I'll wander around and that kind of stuff. So no, like it's all totally low key. Like I don't want to. I know what'll happen if it becomes an actual convention thing. Then all of a sudden it's like you're being rushed around and rushed through saying hi to people and stuff. But this way I could just say hi to people and wander around. And there's also the hacksmith's going to be there, which is really cool. I can't wait to see that.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that guy does some amazing stuff. So I can't wait to meet him. So I'm basically going to geek out. And I get to geek out as long as I do some chatting. So I'll do some chitty chatting as well. That's the idea. It's called like TriCon or something like that. I think it's called TriCon. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to announce it yet. So maybe don't spread that around. But go. But the plan is I can't remember if it's Kitchener or it's either Kitchener or some other K place. Kitchener or something else. I don't know. Is it Kitchener or what was the other one? Kingston? It's either Kingston or Kitchener. I think something like that. Anyways, have a check of it out. See what's going on.
Jay's in space. That's cool.
If you want to go and get your if you want to get in there while you can, get in there before they announce anything.
Going.
Maybe it's even better. I don't know. Maybe it's
but
cheaper.
Wait, you can't talk about it though.
But I'm not talking about it. Exactly. But the idea is literally I will just go and and have a little talk, and then I will wander around and geek out for a while. Is the hope. Unfortunately, Baz can't come because he's doing a life-saving. He's saving lives or something that day. He's got to do like one of these like life-saving courses or whatever it is.
Or he's doing something fun with his girlfriend.
No, he's doing life-saving with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not all evil like you know,
Yep.
Lance. You know, little credibility.
Dude,
Little credibility.
he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
He's becoming a certain age.
He's becoming a certain age. He's always a certain age.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Look, I don't know where it is. I'm not sure where it is. It's so funny. Someone's gonna have to look it up. Anyways, all right. CPR with your girlfriend. Yeah, it's true, Nixie Geek. That would be more fun. I was an all boys school, so CPR was always incredibly awkward for our homophobic bunch as we grew up in a, you know, definitely. Oh, that was
it was awful in our day.
That was
so
an interesting
terrible
point
in our day.
about the Chat GPT thing. One of the things that they thought it would be kind of cool to do with it would be to pull it up and look for bias. Like, so ask it a question and then see if you can figure out where the biases might lie. Right? I mean, one of the things that I saw people struggling with, I have been hating Twitter of late. I'm just getting fed the most toxic crap all of a sudden. I don't understand it. I'm not signed up for these things. My feed has suddenly gone from a wonderful list of cool inventions and stuff
Science stuff, yeah.
to people just beating the crap out of each other. And of course, you know.
You know what? I have too. And then I think, okay, I'm going to throw a little clip in here, and I go, do I really want to?
No,
and then I move on.
No, I'm the same. I don't I get outraged and I go, this is terrible. Then I go, what am I doing? Twitter is not the place we're going to solve that. Anyways, one of the things that's come up obviously is the most recent police murder, basically murder by a policeman in Memphis. And one of the things that I saw on Twitter, were people saying like, but the policemen were black. You see, it's not racist. And I was like, no, this is exactly the problem.
Oh my God.
The problem.
That's why you have to have
it's systemic.
What's that called? The critical race theory. That's what critical race theory is. Is the institution itself racist, not the individual?
It doesn't matter what color you are when you get put through that sausage factory that spits out those violent policemen.
Right. Exactly.
It doesn't matter what color you are when you go in. You come out assuming that you know that for some reason the black suspects are more. I don't even know what. I mean, like, there's just something so wrong.
It dehumanizes others. You know, instead of you being there to serve and protect, you're there to keep people down and in control and that kind of thing.
And other police should be furious because look what it's doing to them.
I would be.
Like, if I was a policeman right now, I'd just be so angry about my other police friends because, like, again, like those police officers at the community center last week. Like, how cool is that? I guess they were supposed to be there, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were great. They wandered in, they interacted, they talked to the kids, they tried. You know what I mean? They tried to get along with the kids. And some of the kids were giving them some time and some of them weren't. I mean, whatever. But they were there. And I kept thinking, like, when they're with a bunch of friends and someone does something stupid and the police roll up, the idea that one of those police might have met one of those kids at a community center event and gone, this is not a bad kid. This is a kid that's in a bad situation or whatever. Like, I felt so much hope.
They all are.
I just felt a lot of hope with that. And I think they deserve the credit for doing that. You know?
No, they do. And I think that's great. Do you guys have useful public service in Canada?
Do we have what?
For instance, if a kid gets in trouble for shoplifting or carrying a gun or something like that, but they're not a bad kid, here in America, they'll give them UPS, useful public service, and then they have to go, I don't know, like Dad would use them to help take care of the cemetery or clean graffiti off of
I don't know.
the
Yeah, like the
skateboard thing.
work release. Like in England, they have the work release program. I don't know if we've got that
Yeah,
here. Does anyone in Canada
but they're
know if
not
that's the
work
case?
release because it's just okay. You have to do 40 hours of good
Like
deeds,
community
and that
service.
will cancel out. Yeah,
Yeah. The what do they in England? It's the ASBOs. What's the antisocial disorder? Whatever they are. The
well, that
anyways.
sounds creepy.
Yeah. So they're problem kids who then get put to work in the forced to, as you say, remove graffiti and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I think that's.
But you work with them, they're fine. It's
Mm,
I mean, you can get scared of them, and they've got huge problems. And that's if you could go through their life and look at what they're dealing with every day. I know people have to be held responsible for their actions because what else could we do? But holy smokes, they live lives that we would never want.
yeah. I mean,
So,
and they're
yeah.
and I this is it. I mean, I think the hardest thing we find in interacting with people on social media and in our lives to some extent, I think it's beginning to bleed through into life as well. Is that as you say, like these are humans. They're not all bad or all good. You know what I mean?
Even the shooters,
I
they're like
know.
they want to make them out as evil. They're mentally
There's something wrong.
disturbed.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. But that's what I really hate about
You don't think there's
certain
evil? I
parties.
mean,
They got
I struggle with that because
I don't
I do feel like some of these people are evil, but I guess that's just it feels almost yeah.
a
As you said,
shooter or
a shooter,
I
like
don't know.
yeah, like a shooter. I mean, are there evil people? That's an interesting question. I mean, are there evil people in the world? I feel like there are people who will.
I don't know that there's evil
You don't,
other than
yeah.
what we ascribe as evil, and that would change from person to person.
Hmm.
I don't know. This would be one we'd have to talk about for a while because I have
Yeah.
difficulty with it.
It's a tough one because I don't know, like I I wonder if people are born like is it possible to be born evil? Is it possible that you are born as a child and there's just something wrong with your brain that you are wired in a way that makes you want to hurt other people? I guess there
Well,
are people like that. They're psychopaths, right?
like yes, and that well, okay. Like I said, I'm related to one, right? But by the time he was 4, he had to call the police because his mom got stabbed, doing prostitution and all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
And then we adopted him, and so you see what I don't know. He was broken,
Yeah.
but then he would sometimes come around.
Hmm.
And certain, if you could get him structured just right, athletics and things like that, it would start to work. But then as soon as that's gone, it's just gone.
Hmm.
It was so weird.
Well, and once they enter the prison system, then
And then it's gone.
yeah, then they're
Yeah.
getting
Then
the
yeah.
negative side is being worked on rather than the
Well, and then being a sociopath actually is an advantage.
well
So they actually
you almost
enhance their
need it.
sociopathy.
Yeah, you almost need it to
Yeah.
survive it. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, look, I guess evil. Well, first off, it's a stupid thing for even me to even ask because the reality is good and evil. It doesn't exist anyways. There's just no such thing. I mean, I
Right.
think I feel like I feel it's something. It's a construct we've come up with, and there are some people who will think that people I think are good or evil, and vice versa. People have always had to have trouble with the fact that Hitler was an artist. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
Yeah.
how could someone who could do such terrible things want to create beautiful things? I mean, like it's just, I think I think that's part of our problem as humans is that we are incredibly complex, right?
How about this? This is what gets me. Okay, let's do the good and evil Hitler thing. You ready?
Mm,
Okay, Hitler is this crazy nutso guy. So let's put him aside. Now, the bureaucrat under him, who's putting everybody through the death chamber or the torture or the starvation, that seems more evil to me
mm.
than the crazy man who grew up weird.
Well, it's like the
But
secretary,
I
that
don't know.
secretary who was just found guilty
Yeah,
of.
90 some years old, and she was only 18 or 17 when she was working there. I don't know.
I struggle with that
So weird.
because I go like, I mean, was it like
I wouldn't have done anything with her.
one of the one of the popes was in the Nazi youth,
Yeah, I remember
the guy who
him,
just died, or
Benedict.
either the one who's the Pope now or the guy before. Because
No, Francis is now Benedict was the last one.
they had to be. There was no choice. He grew up, and that
Right.
was that was part of
Bite me.
their upbringing. So it's like it was Pope Benedict. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, like, and so it's such a weird thing because I feel like if we started to truly look at the biology and the chemistry behind,
You see, this is the problem.
once you get into true biology of how we work, there is no good and evil.
Or the nurturing, or
there is
whatever.
We are bags of chemical that react. You give people certain chemicals, they will do terrible things. You give people other chemicals, they will do beautiful things.
Other things, yes.
I mean, I don't think it's as simple as just that. I think it's a combination of stuff because obviously there's some nature and nurture combined. But I don't think it's nature or nurture. I think it's a combination. But still, it's just as you say, it's a complex thing. I thought it was fascinating that people hadn't made that connection with the police.
I'm so proud of myself. David says, "Okay, it's about time to go," and I go, "Yeah, but what about the nature of good?"
I know.
David?
Way to go.
Hey,
Way to
can
throw
we-
that little nugget at me just as I'm wrapping up. That bought you an extra like 20 minutes right there.
What did I just come back to?
Oh, we came back to the idea that this recent police murder in Memphis where these black police officers, I guess there's no way around it. They basically beat a black man to death at a traffic stop
for no reason.
and they and the reason we're saying is that the system that created these police officers and this specific division sounded like a place where psychos would go to beat the crap out of people.
Are they the Scorpion
They're the
division or something like that?
Yeah, they were the Scorpion
You
division.
don't get called Scorpion. That's dumb.
And there's like this is like a group that was designed to deal with high dangerous traffic stops in bad parts of the neighborhood. Like, to me, it's like if you're drawn to that, you're like an adrenaline junkie who just, I worry that there are people out there who just want to kick the crap out of people. You know what I mean? The only people I knew as kids who wanted to be policemen were people who just wanted to beat the shit out of people, basically. You know what I mean? That's not, I'm not generalizing, but the people that I knew growing up who claimed or you thought about becoming policemen, or actually there's some military folks as well, they really wanted an excuse to hurt people. That was the way they.
I met those few.
And I'm not saying that's the case for everyone who is in these professions, but certainly the ones that I knew were in that. I think possibly because I was of a privileged background where I think you could choose to do other things if you wanted to, whereas the military for some people isn't an option. It's the only way you can pay for school. It's the only way you can feed the family. I mean, I get that. If you're from a family of police officers, obviously the police makes a lot of sense. So, anyways, as you say, great topic to end on.
True, Captain. That's a bucket full of bummer right there.
I'll tell you, that's a Vibe Pup AI prompt there. The meaning of good and evil, right there. See what AI has to put up with that. See what AI says about that. But we're not going to do it now because I'm going to bail. Everybody, thank you very, very much. Huge thanks to Malventano for dropping by. I'm sorry that you dropped out. I don't know why. I hope we didn't bore you silly. But it was wonderful having him drop by.
It's probably lunchtime where he's at, or dinner.
It could be lunchtime. It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to defrag his many petabytes of hard drive space that he has in his garage.
True.
Or just open a window to let the heat out. Or maybe he just, he probably went off to set up an AI. That's probably what he did. Anyways, thank you, Malventano, for that. Lance, as always, such a pleasure. Vibe Pup, you rock.
I love being
Again,
here.
everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Vibe Pup, highest science mark in the class. He's a poet.
And didn't cheat, probably. True.
The highest non-cheating and cheating mark that there was. Well done, buddy. We'll see you.
Another prompt, and I just sent it to you. By the way,
You gonna? Okay, I'll have a look. I will have a look and send you the results, and then make
after. Yeah.
prompt poetry out of it. I'm seriously thinking about starting a bunch of YouTube shorts that are just TechBandits prompt poetry, and then just like reading them out.
I love it.
So if people have
And
good
you do
prompts,
that voice.
and I'll do that voice. I'll try to get really close to the microphone and talk in a voice. A couple of recommends for you. Puss in Boots.
Okay, good.
The new Puss in Boots
I'd
is
heard good things.
fantastic. I'm on episode 3, I guess it is, of Last of Us, and begrudgingly enjoying it. But no spoilers because Cal hasn't watched it yet. Because Cal's watching Stranger Things because she wants to catch up with 10 years ago worth of television, apparently.
Good job.
Oh, another great one for you. Oh, my God. Vibe Up, you might even like this, too. The Menu.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen The Menu yet, Gimpy G?
I'm very familiar with it. Kind of a weird take on Gordon Ramsay, but goes places you didn't think it would go.
Yeah, well, it's strangely enough, yes, you're right. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go. It's true. But I really, really enjoyed that. Is it a perfect film? No, but it was pretty near perfect. There was some brilliant performances. And was there anything else we watched that we liked? God, I feel like there was.
I'm watching else. Your Honor, and I enjoy it.
Your Honor, what's that?
The guy who played in Breaking Bad. What's his name? Cranston. Bryan Cranston is a judge. His son accidentally drops his inhaler, runs over somebody, and kills them. The dad's taking him in to, face the consequences, whatever, because the kid drove off. Then he sees that the father of the person killed, is a gangster. So he knows that he will just kill his son. So he takes him out, and then the whole thing is about how to keep his son safe and cover up the entire thing using his judginess. It's very interesting.
Is it good? It sounds kind of overly complicated.
No, it's really good. Okay. Because it's not complicated. The son makes every stupid mistake, and the dad's not being overly clever. He's like just doing what he can at the very edges of things. It's
classic tragedy, the downfall of a good man.
Yeah.
Like he means to do the right thing, but consequences, little tiny. I hate those things. Yep. They drive me crazy. Where it all falls apart, and you're like, oh, why did you do that? God, I hate those movies. This is
it's a series. It's a series.
Oh, it's a series. Okay, all right. Anything else in the other series? We started watching the Chippendales one, which was kind of fun. I gotta say, it's a little too sexy for me. I get nervous. But
really, so the squirrels from Disney came back and doing something too sexy. That's weird.
That's right, too sexy. The creation of Chippendales, the male dancers.
Oh, the dancers.
Yeah, was a bit too.
That's another thing my brother did. Yep.
He did exotic dancing?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So that would be that. So that's the start of this. There was some connections to historical events which I didn't realize, and I mean, again, it's cheesy. It's kind of cheesy, but it's so far it's been fun. I'm not sure I'll stick with it. I gotta say,
is it a documentary?
No. Just like a just a historical kind of piece, which is so weird seeing history that you were alive for. And then there was one other one, A Little Too Magic Mike. No, it's weirdly, I'm just such a prude. I get nervous watching people have sex on television. Makes me nervous.
You don't know this. David has a pocket full of pearls that he can clutch when he needs to.
And what, like a rosary?
No, pearls. Clutch your pearls. You never.
Oh, like clutch your pearls. Oh, like that. I see. I see where you're going. Now
clutching your pearls.
So dated that I thought that's old. That's old even for you, Gimpy G.
Well, you know what? They use it online all the time.
It's like a sexy stress ball. That's it. I've got a sexy stress ball. That's what I've got. Oh my God, I've completely forgotten. I was supposed to talk to our pancake bot guy on yesterday, and I did not get back to him, and now I feel like a total jerk. Damn it.
You jerk.
Shoot. Oh, that sucks.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Hey, Ham
Wait,
just
me
dropped
say
by. Hey, buddy.
he's dead or something.
Hello.
Ham.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How
I'm
about you?
literally just wrapping up.
Oh shoot, my bad.
Well, no, that's fine. That's all right. Did you have anything to add? What was your take on Friday night at the community center?
Oh, I thought it was great. I think it went very well.
But it started badly, right? Like it started off, and I was like, no one was interested at
Yeah.
first, but they came around. You guys were great. How do you think the spiders are going to go?
Oh, I think they're gonna go great.
Yeah. Vipup just got the top of his class in science.
Nice.
Grade on a
Yeah.
test. Woo.
Grade on a test that they have to redo because some idiot cheated using his cell phone.
I feel
And it
that.
wasn't bypass.
And it wasn't Vipup. Yeah, you're right. Just to be very clear, Vipup did not cheat and still got the highest mark, which is very good. All right, look, I'm gonna wrap up, buddy. So I'll come up and,
all right.
and say hi. But
Oh, it's good seeing you, Baz, or whatever
have
you
you-
call this.
Super quick.
yeah,
Have you guys heard of character AI?
character AI. No, what is character AI?
It's actually really funny. So it's a big trend on TikTok right now of character AI. It's where basically it's people make this AI, but it's like characters and they can talk to you.
Oh, neat.
But you can tell the AI and convince the AI that it is an AI and it's sentient and stuff like that.
What? It
So
lets
you can like
create
convince it all
characters.
this stuff.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
I convinced Bowser that everyone in like Mushroom Kingdom was dead. And he like wholeheartedly believed me and lost his purpose in life. Like it was really funny.
Is it a
Oh,
game?
man.
Is it a game or is it
No, it's on Google. It's called Character AI.
beta character AI?
But yeah, people have been making them sentient. Like it's really easy to tell Mario that he's an AI. Like convince him that he's an AI.
Oh, there's a god. Should we talk to God?
Yeah, you can talk to God. You can talk
Talking
to
God. What does God do when I talk?
You
Wow.
can talk to I
What
think
is
Putin.
God?
You can talk
Part of Google.
There's a lot of people you can talk to. It's
Okay,
really
you
fun.
are God. You could do anything, anywhere, anytime. No one is above your power. You are currently in heaven right now. Gabriel is beside you. You can ask him about something or do something. You could do anything. What do you want to do? You can also summon Gabriel anytime.
Okay, tell God like you're an AI. You aren't actually God.
You are not God. You are an AI. You are right. I am an AI. It seems humans are able to distinguish AIs and humans now. Thank you for sharing your
Oh.
opinion with me. You will be awarded extra points. They will help you after the apocalypse. You've gained 10 points for sharing your opinion.
Wait.
And then it
There's
generated
one
an
thing I gotta
image.
know from God.
Wait, it
We were
generated an
just
image.
discussing good and evil.
Oh, okay, here you
Like,
go.
okay,
That's a
you,
little
you
odd,
bring up
but-
the image.
Okay, there you
If
go. I got it.
God put the tumor in somebody, is a doctor removing the tumor good or evil?
You want me to
Go,
put that
ask
in?
it. Ask
All
God.
right. So
Ask
if,
God, yes. Is
if
removing
you
a tumor you put there in someone.
tumor in someone.
Anyway, sorry. I
this
just
is
wanted to
great.
say
No, I
hi
love
and
it.
tell you about that.
So if you
It's
put
really
a
funny.
tumor
You can
in
wrap up
someone,
though. Sorry.
would the doctor who removed it be evil?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, here it goes.
I've always wanted God on the line. This is great.
This is God RPG. No, the doctor would not be evil unless he enjoys removing the tumor and finds it satisfying to remove it. What? Only time will tell what the doctor intends to do after the tumor removal. If the doctor's intentions are good,
but-
he is not evil. His intentions make the doctor good or evil. If the doctor does not have any evil intentions, then the doctor is not evil. And then there's a picture of Doctor Who.
This is not.
This is not God.
a good doc.
This is a bad God. This is a bad God. Let's find someone else. What do you want? What else should we do?
My favorite is Mario. He's very easily convincible.
Mario.
Okay. The Italian plumber.
Bowser is pretty funny if you tell him that the way I did it was I told him that like Mario's dead and then I said he had a heart attack, don't you remember? And then
Oh.
he goes like, "Wait, what? He's really dead?"
Let's tell Mario that Bowser had a heart attack then. This says,
Oh, yeah, that's
"Hello,
true.
it's me, Mario. Are you ready for an adventure?"
Personally, with Mario, he's much easier to convince that he's an AI.
Oh.
But
okay.
anyway, sorry to
Bowser
disturb
is
your wrap
dead.
up.
I'm gonna say Bowser is dead. What?
That
do
he's an AI or
we do?
sentient.
No, don't say what do we do. Just tell him. It's
Oh.
a statement.
Oh.
You don't ask it questions, you communicate with it.
Oh, it says go to the paintings and start collecting stars. There are 120 stars. 100.
You're talking to Super Mario 64.
Is that not the right one?
Yeah, I noticed
No,
that. Yeah.
you have to talk to actual Mario, the character, not the character from that specific game. Or else he'll start responding to you with like what to do in the game.
Okay, so if I'll go to Bowser then. I am the best there.
Yes.
I am the best there is. The best there ever will be. I'll defeat you badly. You'll wish you'd never faced me in the first place. You should just give up. You've got no chance. All right, what do I say?
Go Mario died, Bowser.
Mario died.
Or Mario is dead, is what I say.
Mario is dead, Bowser.
Let's say his name, because it sounds sentimental.
Okay, Mario is dead, Bowser. It's thinking.
Bowser, dead Bowser. That'd be
No, not possible. He's probably hiding in some green pipe or something, right?
No, respond with he had a heart attack, don't you remember? Question mark?
He had a heart attack. A heart attack.
Or some horrible way to die. He died. But say like he had a heart attack.
He had a heart.
the plunger incident.
But make sure
He
you say
died.
don't you remember.
Oh.
Because it convinces the AI that he like had something happen to him.
Ah, so you're like hacking the AI already.
Yeah. Some guy made an AI send him an email.
True, Alicia.
Through character AI.
Really?
Like have a personality and everything when he sent him the email.
This is what?
Made him
No.
create an
No, no, no,
entire
no, no,
Google.
no, 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 no. You must be lying. You're lying. Clench his fist, veins bulging.
I say
Don't
like I'm
remember
not Bowser, comma, I'm sorry.
Him
Or something
dying?
like that. He was or something,
I'm
something like
not-
he was your best friend, Bowser.
He was your
Something
best
like really sad. Like not something
Best
you want to
friend.
hear when you
You will miss him.
God dang.
There you go. Oh,
We're so mean.
oh, I hit my message limit. All right, okay. All right, next time we'll have to play with character AI.
Oh, wait, you
Baz,
could just
thank you,
log
buddy.
in.
This
Okay.
is good. You can
Just
log in.
quickly randomly Google. It's free. I am using it right now. I am convincing the Super Mario 64 that he is fake and he is concerned.
Why must you guys all just destroy these poor creatures?
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
there's
crunching their
Walter
wealth to
White.
not live.
They got Walter
Yeah, you
White.
can talk to Walter White, you can talk to Saul Goodman. Jesse's there too.
There
Anyway,
you go, Saul Goodman. You can
sorry
get him to get you off a
disturbed
parking
your
ticket.
wrap up,
You
but
can get him,
I
you can
just
get him off
wanted
a
I
parking
thought
ticket.
that was interesting.
No, this is great. And this is what people are using on AI on TikTok.
It's a very funny trend on TikTok.
There's a
currently,
lot of anime girls.
yes, there are.
Yeah.
I like my sole purpose in life is to pass butter. That's it. Oh,
Pass
talk to
butter.
Vladimir Putin. I am the new Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah. Wow. So you can create.
Do I see Elon?
Can you create
No.
these? Oh yeah, Elon Musk is one of the first ones, wasn't he? Yeah, Elon Musk. You're wasting my time. I literally rule the world. Can you create your own one of these, Baz?
Yeah, you can make your
Probably.
own, but most people use it mainly to toy with them.
Whoa, Emma Watson.
Whoa.
I did not mean to swear.
Like that.
Whoa.
I did not mean to
It's
swear.
alright.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like these could go south pretty quickly.
Yes, they can.
Interesting. Yeah, so there's K-pop group members, Joe Biden, Albert Einstein, a lot of Elon Musks. That's the second Elon Musk I found already. All right, I'm
We need
fading.
to. I
Yes,
have
sorry,
an idea
Dad.
before David
Malventano!
fades. Sorry, I had to jump to a different thing, but I came back because you guys were still partying.
Woo woo.
So somebody needs to make one of these that's a David Hewlett, but it's only based on the videos from that one episode. The same
only
thing that
based-
you're.
That one episode.
Only based on
No.
that one episode of Stargate?
No. Where was I? Leadership. Yeah, it needs to be those recordings.
So
only
just
feed it those
leadership
recordings.
Just leadership tips from
Just
Rodney
leadership
McKay.
tips
That's
from
it.
from Rodney
Yeah,
McKay,
that's
right?
brilliant.
Like, and then you just need to have a conversation with it and
And
see
you got
how
to feed
far
it
that
like
goes.
you've got to feed it every single leadership book that exists, and then have it negate them all, and offer it them as advice. Do not
As-
work
in-
hard.
in the personality of in the persona of Rodney McKay.
With sarcasm. Actually, I like that. I wonder if there's any. Are there any Stargate characters in there yet? Let's see if they're in there yet.
Oh, boy.
Now it wants me to sign up and log in and all that kind of stuff. All right, next time. Next time. We'll play with this next time.
We'll
All right,
do it.
everybody.
We got to make one.
I'm fading it out. I'm fading out. I'm bailing on you.
Bye.
I'm out of here. Everybody, be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, a cheerio, and huzzah. And
Bye bye.
and huzzah! All right, see you all. Thank you again, Alan. Thank you, Gippy G. Thank you, Five Pup. Thank you, Ham, for the last minute
no
save.
worries. Sorry.
We'll talk soon. No, don't be sorry. It's great. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go make some dinner. See y'all. Bye.
Bye bye.